And we are coming down in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by
Mach.
Sheen Washable.
Yep.
Yep.
Milwaukee.
And the Red Baron.
J-Mark can't be with us tonight. He's selling cars. The Mass is putting out fires.
I came back, so Jeff is gone.
We got to start getting you the check every 2 weeks. 2 weeks every 2 weeks.
So much flying.
You'll be fine, though. It's a lot of Turkish layovers.
The way home was horrible.
It was the best.
Oh, it was terrible.
Around, nothing
Kyle,
ever gonna take
stop.
me down.
Paul, we started the ride home at 9:30 in the morning Saturday. I got to my house at 4 o'clock p.m. on Sunday.
Where'd you fly into, New York?
Yeah.
That much traffic?
No, we didn't land until like 12:15. It took me an hour to get the rental car.
Oh, I thought you meant you started the ride home from the airport at 9:30.
No.
I was like, Jesus.
No, we left my dad's house at, it was 2:30 in the afternoon there, so 9:30 a.m. here. And I got to my house yesterday at 4 p.m. Sunday. So it was terrible. Just a long, long day and a half.
Did you meet Ennis Cantor?
No, I was hoping to see someone wearing his jersey out there.
There probably are people, but they're also probably hanging from places. Kyle, what's the matter?
Nothing.
All right, Toast Excellences, starting lineup. Red Baron, unoriginal, as per usual.
I have from Mass Landing Brewing Company, Gunner's Daughter.
The Riddler
Everyone else has
portion.
had it, so I wanted to try it. I was very excited
You had
for
it.
When? I'm the only guy in the
Milwaukee.
I have from Keramic Daru Company,
Karmic.
whatever.
Darao.
Citrus Syrup. Oh, didn't see the J. Siraj.
Got a curry beer. Good for you. Mach?
My toast.
No. Your start.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. My beer. I have a beer I just brought back from the Czech Republic, the Czech Budweiser, the original Budweiser.
Like Bud Heavies?
It's Budweiser, but here they sell them here as Czechvar,
Oh.
but they're not the same.
I have Lizards of Kaz. Founders. A imperial stout brewed with blueberries, chocolate, and vanilla aged in bourbon barrels. I've had this before. Really excited. Toast of excellence. So mine's to like Bryce Harper and Andrew McCutcheon for going yard in yesterday's Phillies game. Was that yours, Kyle?
Was not, but it's a good choice.
Actually, no, fuck that. Mine was to Nishik. Pat Nishik being the only of like 8 pitchers to have any sort of ball control in the game yesterday.
Hector did pretty good with it.
Nah, Nishik was killing it. His fucking sub pitcher's the best. Machcine.
My toast is to the NBA on TNT show for their April Fool's joke on Shaq.
Oh, like, that was like 2 years ago. You talking about the top 10 center thing?
Well, it came up. It just came up on the Bleacher Report thing today, and they told him he ranked 9th all time, and he almost like tore the set down.
Yeah, he got really mad. They did that. It was like 2 or 3 years ago they did that. They did it like during a halftime of a game, and he almost like choked out Kenny Smith. He was so pissed. He was like, he's sitting there, like, he was like kind of like, he was getting like annoyed that he wasn't higher than 5, and he was like, you know, it was Akeem Olajuwon and like David Rott. Like, these are like people that,
Yeah.
you know. And all of a sudden he saw Alonzo Mourning, he's like you could see him mouth like, are you fucking kidding me? And then they put that guy from the Celtics in like the 60s on there.
Bill Russell?
No. Like a white guy that like nobody knows.
We're about to find out. So
Oh, you looking at it?
It's playing
It's
over
number
here.
8.
Alonzo Mourning 6.
Yeah, he was number 8. 7 was
Jack Sigma.
yeah, Jack Sigma, and then it went to Shaq, right?
Oh, he was 7. 8
Oh.
is Dwight Howard.
Oh, that's right. And then
And
Shaq.
Shaq.
He was so mad. He was like he said it on. They had to bleep. He's like, Jack Sigma, are you fucking kidding me?
And the picture they put of Shaq is hilarious.
Going with him with the seal.
And then Brad Miller at 10.
It was funny. 'Twas funny. Someone posted a thing today about Zion wanting to stay in school for another year because he was salty about the loss to Michigan State.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, that was Kyle's favorite basketball team.
Long time.
No, just kidding. Kyle's Michigan State for football, Penn State for basketball. He's
Other way around.
No. You can't change it again.
It's not. It's always been the other
You
way.
should have seen. We took Kyle out to his aunt and his dad and me and his cousin took him out for breakfast on his birthday before we left for the Phillies game. And Kyle pulled the Bob Evans move where he just decided like, I'll take a sausage, egg, and cheese omelet. Can I have egg whites? And everyone just looked at him like, what? He's like, I get egg whites.
I like egg whites.
He doesn't.
Can I just have the egg yellows?
This is the best part about it though. Kyle's like, I'm gonna get a sausage, egg, and cheese on a bagel. He's like, and everyone's like, that's what you always get. He's like, fine, I'll change it up. Can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese omelet?
With a bagel?
What's your toast excellent?
My toast of excellence is to Michigan State and Texas Tech.
Oh, not Auburn and Virginia?
Don't like those two teams.
Auburn deserves to win it.
They won't though. They're too hurt.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were a college basketball professional.
One guy tore his ACL. They're starting 4.
Okay.
Big deal.
Next man up mentality.
Duke didn't have Zion for the rest of the season. They still finished as a 1 seed. Get at me, bitch! Red Baron, nope.
They
No,
lost
you're
a
cut
lot
off.
of games without
You're cut off. You're cut off. He's a Machcine. Punch him in the balls.
and they didn't deserve the 1 seed.
Kyle's just salty that Georgetown could in. His real favorite team.
Georgetown should have got in. Mac McClung.
My toast excellence is Jake Arrieta yesterday at the game that Riddler, Souls, and I went to. He had in that bat where he must have fouled off like 5 or 6 pitches.
To the same spot.
Yeah.
He had like 11 pitch at bat.
He battled.
He had 2 really hard line drives out yesterday.
He's a good batting pitcher though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a bad pitching pitcher yesterday. Though.
He got out of it. He walked 6 guys, all in the first inning.
Oof.
He had no runs.
The Phillies got walked 9 times and had 2 hit by pitches.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was
Fought a guy.
a long game.
Great pitching duel.
Yeah, it was a long game. It was like 42 degrees out, really windy. Some
So
guy
the
got thrown
opposite
out
from
for
when we all
stone
went.
colding a Stella Artois and a Yingling. He just poured him on his face.
Dude, but like that security guard had it out for him.
Hey, well, hold on. We gotta do our toast, man. Save it.
My toast is to the ginger lookalike.
Oh wait, don't sip yet. We'll do a sip of silence to Nippy. Nippy? Did I do it right? Did I say that right?
Or the rapper Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey. Oh, Nipsey.
Nipsey Hussle.
I always say Nippy. Nipsey Hussle. No, I mean, I know that, like, I don't know who here was a fan of his, like, work, but he was very involved in the community. He was very good at, like, exploiting, like, the negative side of the place, because he was from South LA, and to turning it into positives. He was very involved in, like, the Lakers organization and, like, a lot of, like, NFL and NBA players. Like, he was just, like, you know, when someone like that goes, that's really close to, like, their community and like the sense that like LeBron James was to Cleveland, and then is like, you know, when you're boys with a lot, like if Drake died, you know what I'm saying? When you're boys with a lot of NBA and NFL athletes, like people put you on notice when.
Yeah.
So sip excellence or sip of silence. In. I will also be doing my own private sip of silence. I choose not to get into it.
For you guys listening at home, that's a washing machine you're hearing in the background.
No, the washing machine's on air. That's the dryer, you dumbass.
Dryer, I'd like to apologize. You're a member
Guy's
of the
never
show.
done laundry before in his life. What
I've
washing
done.
machine do you have? Sounds like that.
Actually, mine does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Your washing machine? No, it doesn't. I don't. You guys can nod your heads all you want. I slept next to the fucking thing for 6 weeks.
Yeah, I
months.
lived at the house for my entire life.
No, you haven't.
With the exception of 1 year.
4, basically.
What?
You went to college. You weren't there for all the months.
That's also a new washer.
Semantics.
What?
Yeah.
It's technically 2 years you're away from your house.
That's not what your washer sounds like. But you know what his dryer does do? His dryer sounds like the fucking NCAA tournament Final Four buzzer at the end of the game when the dryer goes off. Just
It does like 3 separate times, too, for whatever reason.
Tastes like orange juice.
well, Souls.
I just had to get it out there.
We went to a Phillies game yesterday.
Yeah, it
You
was
care to
awesome.
elaborate? I figure we'll talk about baseball this hour. It's the start of the season. Every team's got at least 3 games under their belt. We saw some teams not play so hot in their first 3. Not that it's a real representation of how the season's going to go, because statistically we're about 1% way through the season. And but yeah, we saw the Phils, man. They're the only team that's undefeated.
Yeah, they look good right now. 3 games in.
That's all you got to say?
No, I was scratching
okay.
my eye.
Just making. I didn't know if you wanted to. I figured you could talk about the Phillies startup. Maybe talk about the game yesterday. Maybe that could segue into Machcine, going into some Yankees talk.
Well, you want to start off with that Bryce Harper's wearing his Nationals belt?
Who cares?
Someone caught a picture during the game yesterday where he was wearing his belt that said he was number 34. So everyone's kind of making a big deal, but it's just very funny.
The best part about Bryce Harper being in Philly so far was that he chose to wear Philly Fanatic cleats.
Yeah.
And the next day, the Philly Fanatic wore Bryce Harper cleats.
But it was funny. I wish you were there because I was reading this article to Kyle about the belt, and he's like, I don't know, maybe he just likes the belt. Trying to rationalize it.
That's true.
I know, it's just funny, Kyle.
I don't know. The Phillies they're obviously seeing a lot of pitches right now. They're walking a lot. We saw that yesterday. They also did that in game before. They're getting themselves in the good hitters counts, and it's paying off for them. They're getting runners on base, and they're driving them in. If it's a sac fly or RBI ground out.
Well, I'll tell you what, that top of the lineup has been very effective thus far.
But even the bottom 3. Because those were the top 3 guys in the Phillies lineup last year.
Right.
So now you just put them at the end. All the weight is off of them, if that makes sense. Franco already had 2 home runs and 7 RBIs.
I think all the pressure's off Franco now. I think he was definitely in his own head all last year. Because he thought he kind of had to be the guy. Well, actually, past 2 years probably.
Well, after his rookie year when he came out red hot, hitting all those home runs and everything, 4 against the Yankees.
I just want to sprinkle that in there.
No. It was just everyone thought that's what he was gonna be, and he didn't live up to it. But
Was that Paul?
yeah. Cesar batting 7th. He doesn't have to be the leadoff guy anymore. He can be himself. And
Who is leadoff for the Phillies now?
McCutcheon.
Oh, that's right.
And Herrera, was the only guy yesterday that swung the bat poorly.
Did he hit a double?
No, he hit nothing. He was bad. But everybody else hit the ball hard. It was just a good sign. And they're better defensively.
It's one of those things, especially the MLB season is so long. In the beginning, you're trying to find those the small improvements and just you kind of just to get a feel. But the season's so long. I mean, not to say these games are meaningless because at the end they are, but you're still getting a feel for everything,
First series off to the spring training. Braves didn't really look too hot. The whole series, they couldn't really hit. Their pitching is definitely it's a big question mark. They have 2 injuries, but they just have a bunch of rookies in there.
Yeah.
And in a bullpen, they just walked everybody.
They seemed very flustered, I guess it would be.
They got exposed already. I know it's young, but the season's young, but you can tell when rookie pitchers are gonna fall or be good.
But that's the thing. I mean, if it's their first MLB start, put yourself in that situation.
No, I get it. I get it. I just don't think they have the stuff. If that makes sense, because they when we were watching the game yesterday, the kid didn't have electric except he was throwing 93. He left a lot of pitches up.
Yeah.
And the kid before that, after they saw him one time, they got to him very quickly. And I think that's how it's going to be. They're going to get through the lineup once, and then teams are going to start figuring them out. Their ace is still Julio Teheran.
Yeah, well. I don't know if the fans got to him or what, but it just, like you said, after the first time through, it was just kind of he was figured out.
Yeah, and then they kept saying my name at the game yesterday. It pissed me off. Kyle, what?
Fans they were shouting Kyle. It was Kyle.
Right.
Yeah.
You should have stood up. Give the people what they want.
I told him.
A couple of these,
Pop the shirt off. But, yeah, baseball's underway. I love it, but the season's so long.
We got to pace ourselves.
Yeah. Yankees are dropping like flies.
I know Kyle's answer. Would you just skip? Would you skip forward past through the whole MLB season, just get to football?
I would not.
I wouldn't.
I said I knew your answer.
I know.
Why are you being so rude tonight?
Oh my god.
For the listener, Souls is being rude tonight.
I wouldn't skip
Machcine would. Because now that Derek Jeter's out of it, he doesn't care anymore.
That's not true.
Now that Giancarlo's injured for 10 days.
He's injured indefinitely.
He said they put him on a 10-day DL.
The 10 days is only because they don't want to put him on the 60-day.
He'll just be on the 10-day 4 times.
I feel like that's stupid that they can do that.
No, you just leave him on until. So the way that works is that like.
Why doesn't it just be like, hey, you're injured till you come back? Why does it have to be like why does it have to be 60 days? Why does it have to be 60?
I'm not sure why they did it. I don't know if that was like a thing the union pushed for.
That's stupid because it's like, okay, like 60 days, but it's like, oh, it's only a 40-day injury. Like after 40 days,
so
it's
you
like,
have a roster spot on open, so you could bring someone else up for that guy.
right, but why would you ever put someone on the 60-day DL? Why not just keep doing him on the 10-day DL? You still get the roster spot.
Well, if he's not going to play the whole year, he's going to go on it. Like the people that only go on the 60
if you're out 60 games, you're not out the whole year. You're not even out half the year.
Usually when you're on the 60-day DL, you're out for the whole year.
So then why don't they just put you on the out for the year list?
Because they don't have that.
There's a lot of weird holes in baseball that make no fucking sense
Yeah.
at all. Like yesterday we were talking about it. Someone hit, who was it? Someone hit one of the Phillies hit a pop-up, and the third baseman came into play, and it was super windy, and the ball blew almost all the way to first base, and nobody caught it, so it landed on the ground. So the hitter was already right at the bag, getting ready to touch it. So he touched it and was safe, but the guy at first didn't advance. So he got thrown out at second. I don't understand why on God's green earth the guy that hit the ball, he should get a base hit on that situation. That's not a fielder's choice. The fielder had no choice. If he threw it to first, the guy that would have went to second would have been safe, and then he would have been done. That's not a fielder's choice. He had no other choice. The guy at first was already safe.
I think it's just.
I understand it when it's on the ground.
How would you write that in the book?
It's a base hit, and the guy's out advanced
No,
to second.
it was listed as a. I forgot who picked it up. I think it was Freeman 3-6.
What was the? How many outs were the?
Yeah, but it wasn't a hit.
It was two.
But you said it wasn't a hit. You said it wasn't a hit.
It's not a hit.
So it's a fielder's choice.
Because he was
3-6?
out at second.
That's stupid. That's dumb.
You can only get a hit when nobody else gets out.
But that's dumb. That's not true.
That's not true.
If I rope a ball into the gap in the outfield with a guy on first and I get to first and he gets thrown out going to third, I still get a hit.
You know what I mean? Like if there's someone on base.
I understand what you're
and
saying, but that's dumb. If the fielder threw it to first, the
Yeah.
guy would have been safe, and the guy at second would have been safe, and it would have it's not like a double play situation. There was no double play possibility. It's not like you threw it out at second and the guy beat the throw out on the way to first.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's just
It's
how
just-
it works.
It works poorly. Poorly, it's dumb.
It was funny because I didn't remember like the situation at the time. I remember seeing the pop up, and in my head immediately I thought like infield fly rule just out of instinct or whatever, but it didn't pan out that way because of the situation.
Well, yeah, it has to be two people on base for an
Right.
initial fly.
But as soon as I saw it happen, that's the first thing I thought of. But
The Mets look good to start off the year, like always.
like always,
Hey, listen, they're gonna be in first till May.
DeGrom pitching well, Syndergaard pitching well.
He didn't really pitch that well.
Syndergaard pitched okay.
I said that I was surprised the Mets gave him the extension. DeGrom.
I
I
wasn't
called the
surprised.
Xander Bogaerts extension at work. I said he was going to get a 7 or 8 year extension. I didn't say for how much.
So you bring up Bogart. Me and Kyle were talking about this before. How do the Red Sox now sign Mookie Betts?
They don't.
Yeah, you don't
This
think
is
they
what
do?
they do. They sign the B plus guys and they let the A plus guys go, and then they sign A plus guys through free agency instead of re-signing their own people.
Because we're like, if they end up signing Betts, they're gonna be they're gonna have to be way over the luxury tax.
I don't think they care about that.
I don't either, but because I mean, there's certain teams in the MLB that could do, like the Red Sox can do it, the Yankees, the Dodgers. The tax means nothing to them, but I mean, that David Price is making, I think it's like $30 million a year.
I think they should do a hard cap in baseball.
They should.
I
There
think
should
they
be a hard
I
cap.
think it's ridiculous that
There should be.
like because like you look at these like the Machados and the Harpers and stuff like that. Like the Brewers could never have afforded to go after either of them.
But the smaller market teams don't care when other teams go over the tax because they get that money.
Yeah, I understand that, but
But
they
I
get the
do
money-
agree.
They get the money, but that money is not going to help them sign a Harper or a Machado.
No, I agree.
Well,
They can't afford to sign Harper to put them over the luxury tax.
they'll be able to re-sign Christian Yelich.
But that's not Harper or Machado.
Well, he's an MVP, so they're okay with the.
I understand they're okay with it, but is he a Harper, Machado, Trout, Arenado caliber player?
Not yet, but I think he will be in the next couple of years.
I do think there should be a hard cap. Just because
it makes, for me, like, from what I've been like reading through like free agency stuff, and I know I don't know as much about baseball as Kyle, and I get that, but it just seems like it makes free agency a little less exciting because there's certain teams that you know that they're just not going to go to because they can't afford to be over the luxury tax. They just can't do it. Like Milwaukee's the best example I could come up with. They're a contending team that's good, and they've got good pieces, but they're paying their pieces now.
Yeah.
And they can't afford to be over the luxury tax by $20 million. Or whatever, how people go over. I don't know exactly how much they go over. But it makes it less exciting.
So, just because I don't know off the top of my head, what's the penalty like in the NFL if you go over the cap?
You don't. You can't.
You can't.
You can't go over the cap. So if you only have $10 million in cap space and you want to sign a guy that's 11, you have to restructure a deal or cut a player before you can sign him.
It's like being at the cash register. Like I don't have enough money for my groceries.
That's what happens. That's why like the first few days of free agency, the day of the draft, because the day of the draft is different. When you draft people, they don't sign right away.
Yeah.
So you just own their rights, and then it's like sometime in like July. You'll see it when like the second wave of free agency really starts to go through hard.
Yeah, before during training.
That's
camp
when you start seeing a lot of players get cut. Like you'll see, like if the Bears, for example, decided that they were going to trade up somehow into the first round and get a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
The Bears after the draft was over, the Bears would cut somebody, or they would restructure a contract because they don't have the cap space to afford a round one salary.
Another question. Again,
I don't want to talk about it.
No. So, like, in the NFL, when they restructure these contracts, why from the start is the majority of the money just as, like, a signing bonus or whatever, so it doesn't hit the cap? Like, I don't understand.
Because it gives you the option to restructure later. Because if you restructure, so if you do a signing bonus, if you restructure someone who's supposed to make you $20 million, and you restructure their contract down to $15 million and do that other one as a signing bonus over, signing bonuses don't hit the cap.
That's what I mean. So why don't they do that right from the start?
Because the signing bonus comes from team cash.
Oh, okay.
It's like available funds. So like right now, like the Oakland Raiders, everybody that they're signing is low guaranteed upfront money. It's like more like signing bonus stuff that comes years later and things like that because they don't have any cash. They have cap space, but they have no cash.
I gotcha.
They spend all their cash on Brown and the offensive lineman.
Oh, for the Patriots?
Yeah, Brown and Brown.
I gotcha.
Brown and Brown, not from the Browns. But it's like you look like the Cleveland Browns, for example. The Cleveland Browns, like Odell doesn't have a lot of signing bonus left in his contract and all his guaranteed.
The Giants have to pay that.
Right, and the guaranteed money is all taken care of. So that's all. So all they're stuck with is the cap number,
his yearly salary.
And so they have all the ability in the world, if Beckham agrees to it, to restructure contracts to just be signing bonuses. And players don't care. Even the players that are out for money don't care because they're getting the same amount of money. It's just a matter of they're getting it, week 1 versus week 8 or whatever. Like that's why like Khalil Mack restructured, Matt Ryan, like all those big name players restructured this year. It makes no difference. It's just it's a cash versus cap thing. Because when it doesn't go against your cap, instead of coming out of the NFL bank account, it's coming out of the Raiders bank account.
I got you.
So that's really all it is.
Another team though that's just
the White Sox have been scoring some runs. They're still 1-2. They're not going to be good. Pitching's terrible. But, I don't know. Abreu got off to a good start. He's already got two dingers. He's batting pretty well. Moncada's doing well. He's batting like 500 through 3 games. He's got a dinger. Eloy Jimenez got his first hit and RBI this weekend. Parker hasn't smashed one yet, but...
The young pitchers need to start pitching. That's it.
They're going to be bad for a long time.
That's not true.
They're going to be bad for a long time. They're going to lose Moncada.
They haven't for a long time. That's not going to happen.
They're still going to lose them. That's how long it's going to be before they're good again. I don't care if they're never good again. I saw the World Series. We're done.
just sell them.
Seattle is just hitting a lot of home runs and scoring a lot of runs. They tore apart that Red Sox pitching staff.
Made that guy over there very happy, but not as happy as it would have been if their team had not beaten or not lost to some bad baseball team.
Oh yeah, Yankees are going to lose to the Orioles.
Did you see Chris Jankowski's rant on Facebook about it?
I can't read his stuff
He
anymore.
he's
the worst.
Ever since the NCAA tournament started, he's just been bashing the NCAA tournament as being like a giant waste of time. It's not
because
exciting.
He's salty he wasn't able to do a bracket.
He thinks it's a giant waste of time. Nobody cares about it. Baseball, the first weekend of baseball is way more exciting than any part of the NCAA tournament. Like all this stuff, and it's not true. Like the NCAA tournament is so exciting. So many people watch. People who watch college basketball watch the tournament. It's like the Super Bowl of basketball, you know. But like he posted or whatever, he's like, I'm a little salty that my team lost to a team that our AAA team should be beating, and it's like I don't think that's true. I don't think.
Maybe not should be, but probably could.
You know what though? Who knows? Maybe Baltimore's good.
Kyle, we know Baltimore's not good. We know that.
A lot of young kids.
So,
And their best prospect not even up yet.
one player doesn't make a difference.
Sometimes it does.
No, it's a team sport. You said you're starting to talk about other baseball things.
I'm trying to talk like Seattle.
Let's talk about Seattle.
Like they started off in Japan, won those 2 games. I think they scored like 6 runs in each game, or a little bit more. They added a bunch of younger guys, not like the. Let's get this straight. Seattle in the last 4 years, I think, made about 80-something trades.
So real quick, Kyle, the Mariners scored 12 in the opener. 6, 6, 10. So 2 pretty explosive days, and I don't know, 6 runs. I don't know.
It's still a pretty decent amount.
It's slightly
that's
above
a productive
average.
day. That's a productive day.
Well,
in baseball.
especially against a staff that's supposed to be one of the best in the league.
No, I don't dispute that.
Because I think the Red Sox pitching staff's overrated, anyways. But
Their starting rotation is very good. The bullpen is very weak. Their bullpen's very weak. But the starters for the Boston are good.
like D. Gordon, Domingo Santana, Malik Smith, like all these guys that aren't big names, but they're productive major leaguers.
Listen, the Mariners are always going to be a team that plays well but wins nothing. That's just what they're destined to be. They've always been that, and they always will be.
You know, the Mariners are the first one to treat a superstar with a lot of disrespect. Felix Hernandez. He was such a good ace for a long time and never had anything around him. And they still haven't done that for him. Like, they had Ichiro, but like that's really all they had at that point.
See, that's the thing where if he gets upset about that, I feel no sympathy. You had chances to, if you wanted to make
I don't
a
think
move,
he's mad. I just think
but even still, I mean, all these guys, like the loyalty, I get it, but you had an opportunity to make a move if you wanted to contend and this and that. So it is.
I just think he's comfortable. He was comfortable in Seattle. Wow. The AL West is just going to be a weird division anyway. There are a bunch of teams that have a lot of hitting and no pitching. Texas won on a freaking walk-off wild pitch yesterday.
I love when that happens. I really do. I love when that happens.
The Cubs are another team. Like, their pitching staff is very weak now. Lester's like 35.
Is that my fantasy team?
Kyle Hendricks is a up-and-down starter all the time. Cole Hamels is older. They're an old
never
team.
that good.
They're just an old team, and especially in the pitching staff. So when you have guys that can only go 5 and a third, you have to rely on the bullpen that's not very strong anyways, you're gonna have a rough time. Like, their offense is very good with Javier Baez, Anthony Rizzo, and Chris Bryant, but
Right.
the question's the same: can they keep Chris Bryant when he becomes a free agent?
Well, I think that team has already, they succeeded in the window they had. They won.
And it's time for them to like kind of break it down slowly.
Right. That's not to say that the team couldn't win again, but it's not like that team is not considered a failure by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
It's the tail end of what that window was. And like you said, they just got to revamp certain things. Work on the pitching staff. Now, there's no guarantee that like Bryant stays.
Not at all.
Not to say it couldn't happen, but I think he's gonna get a big contract somewhere. And that'll be the end of it.
But he's under contract to what? 2021, 22. I know it's for a while. Because they did the thing with him, they held him down to
But
get
he's
the
been in the
extra
league
year.
for already 3 years.
So
if it was a 5-year deal, it would have been 2020. I think it comes at the same year that Trout would have come out. I could be wrong.
Trout was in before Bryant.
No, but I thought like the extension when he was a rookie.
But I don't know if he got an extension yet. Because remember they kept him in the minors
To get an extra year.
to get the extra year. I just don't remember when he comes up. I know it's soonish, but
hold on. He is through 2019.
Oh, he's a free agent this year.
Oh.
It's about to be fun. And like I don't know if Chris Bryant has like the loyalty that everybody else does.
Well, Kyle.
He's boys with Harper.
I was waiting for it.
He's going to the Phillies. It's written in stone.
When the Mike Trout news dropped, I was laughing so hard. I just wanted to slap Kyle in his head.
Listen, I think it was only down to 2 teams if he ever hit free agency.
He wants to come home
I think
to a city that's a half hour away from where he lives.
that's not far.
It's not home.
It's pretty much home. He's in Philadelphia every fucking week for the
Every
Eagles
day.
games.
Oh, Kyle, I love you.
But whatever. He wanted to stay in Anaheim. I applaud him. He's making a lot of money.
He got about, 430 million reasons to stay in Anaheim.
And $221,000 a day.
And like no rain.
Which is weird for him. He likes weather.
Like,
True.
Is that true?
Yeah, he's like a weather fiend.
Oh.
He's done like guest weather reports on news stations.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Also-
change my toast of excellence.
Cardinals are going to be a weird team this year. They're either going to hit a lot of home runs or they're going to get shut out.
Baseball cracks me up because more than like any other sport, it's just there's so many games and anything can happen. Like players always tend to like come out of nowhere and surprise, and so it's just funny where I love seeing like the preseason like power rankings, and they're always way off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, there's always like that Trevor Story type situation.
Yeah.
Where he came out of...
Yeah, and hits a bunch of home runs, early on, kind of tapers off, and stuff like that happens every year. Like that guy that becomes a household name.
Chris Davis,
Yeah.
Which one?
Orioles.
Wow.
Terrible Chris Davis, the bad one.
I was impressed with the Blue Jays start, too, because their starters didn't give up an earned run until today. So that's 4 games without it. Like, that's impressive.
Yeah, but they can go 158 games, giving up 17 earned runs.
Which would
game.
probably happen. But, like, I think the Blue Jays have a decent rotation. They just, they're a weird team. Like, that's pretty much how it comes down to. Like, there's some talent. They have a lot of young talent, especially when Vladimir Guerrero Jr. comes back. But if they can get their pitching, like Stroman back to normal, what he was 2 years ago, Aaron Sanchez back to what he was 2 years ago, they can make a little decent run. And Tampa Bay's
they're in a tough division to do that.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's no joke either.
I think Tampa Bay has the better chance of being the surprise team, just on pitching solely.
They took 3 out of 4 from Houston, and the only time they got beaten was when Blake Snell pitched.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen a lot.
Really wish that guy was on the Yankees.
Because you got Blake Snell, who didn't do so hot, but he's a former Cy Young winner. You're going to have these young studs come up that throw 98, 99 when they come up once they're ready from Tommy John.
Who won the Cy Young last year in the American League?
It's Blake Snell.
I thought so. That's why you said former, and it kind of threw me off.
10 years ago.
I thought he won it.
And they just have a lot of... The Rays are an interesting team. They have some offense at the top of the lineup, and then you wonder why their first baseman's that Choi guy.
But
they
again,
could have done something there.
The Rays are always they always play decent enough, but they're never that good.
They were 1 year.
Well, it's a team it's kind of always a good in their division.
Yeah.
And then anything outside, it's just a train wreck.
That's right. You know, the division between the Yankees, the top end of that division is going to be good. I mean, we're probably looking at 200-win teams again. So, I mean, do you think the Rays are going to go out and win 100 games?
I think they could. They won 80 last year.
I make a bold statement. I think the Rays are better than the Red Sox this year.
It's just,
That's a piggyback. I already said the Rays were going to be better than the Yankees last show.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, the Red Sox, it's just the bullpen is bad. The lineups, they're still going to score runs.
But I don't like the starting pitching. Like, Evaldi's not really that good. He's been terrible everywhere else but that 1 year in Boston.
He was good with the Yankees.
He was okay.
He was very good with the Yankees. That's why he got a big contract elsewhere.
And, you know, you got that Rodriguez kid who's kind of whatever.
Sean Rodriguez?
Now Eduardo.
Something like that.
And then Purcell is up and down. Either one game he'll be dominant, and the other game he'll give up 10 runs.
Yeah.
And Price is kind of, I'm not going to say done, but
Done-ish.
he's just David Price now.
Well, in the regular season, he's usually pretty good. Other than that, he's pretty terrible.
Well, I'd be curious to see what his contract is.
Price?
Yeah.
I think it was like $30 million a year. I forget for how long, but because at the time he was the highest paid pitcher, and then was it Kershaw that knocked him off?
Let's see. Because we were talking a couple weeks back. Well, actually, 3 or 4 weeks back about players that could be moved. Remember we were talking about that? And I don't think he ever came up in conversation.
Because no one will take on that contract.
Yeah, it looks like through 2022 and 2023, he's got the option, it looks like.
Yeah. It's the same. It's like the Yankees with Ellsbury. They would trade him for a bag of potatoes, but no one wants to take on his contract.
And nobody has a bag of potatoes.
I mean,
Well, I think a bad team would.
no one will take it.
I think it really depends on what you're. Like, if the Yankees wanted to make a trade with the Giant for Madison Bumgarner, I think they would take on the contract, but you have to give up more. If that makes sense.
They should have traded for Johnny Cueto. Made sense for both sides. But
What,
they
this
didn't do
year?
it. Yes.
He's out for a while.
I know. But that's what I mean. I say that Ellsbury's not playing anyway.
He's healthy.
Today. It's still kind of early in the night. Let's see what happens.
Is he playing?
He hasn't played. He was healthy most of last season, and he didn't play an inning. But they're paying him so much money that the Yankees could have traded for Cueto. Ellsbury could have jumped right into a starting role, and the Yankees could have waited for Cueto. And they're paying the money anyway. So it just would have made sense for both sides, but you know, what do I know?
Real quick, just kind of a sidebar. I don't think we talked about this yet. Do you guys like the Marlins logo?
Nah.
I kind of like it.
I like it.
It's kind of like the old one.
Better than last year's.
They seem to just be switching it up every 6 months.
Hey, sell merch.
Sell hats.
That's the
Also,
way to do
Derek
it.
Jeter tore down the slide.
Did he really? Oh. Well, they still got that gaudy fish tank.
When you blame Jeter for that, you don't know if that was his call.
It was his call.
You know what?
They said it like on the radio today.
Ex-nay that slide. Hey, what are the kids going to do now? There's nothing to...
Watch the game.
You expect them to
Do what
watch
the
that team?
parents paid for? One more interesting team I want to say is the Padres.
Why?
Yeah,
Tell me.
Manny Machado at third, Fernando Tatis Jr. at short, Ian Kinsler at second, and Eric Hosmer at first.
You think the Orioles are really pissed that Machado's playing third? It's like, really? You gave us all that shit,
Now look at
and you
you.
just go back to third?
Because Tatis Jr. has a very good glove. Kinsler and Hosmer are like, they're good enough. If that makes sense.
Well, they were both really good at a time.
That's what I mean. The Padres can be like a sneaky team.
And they still got Will Myers. You know,
Oh my god.
I just snotted when you said that.
they have Margot, who's only like 22. Hunter Renfroe, who's only like 21. They should be using Francisco Mejia, but they're douchebags and picked him for no reason. So now they're using Austin Hedges and somebody else. Only Harper having that team right now. But they're pitching to ass, so who knows?
Well, that's why I think that they're not going to make any noise for that reason right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree that's
But
an
good
awesome
defense
infield.
Good defense can win them games. Like they don't have Clayton Richard anymore. That's a good thing.
He used to be the backbone.
He's terrible. He throws 84 and gets shelled almost every time he's out.
See, the trick, if you don't have the gas, you have to develop a knuckleball. You have to.
Has there ever been a
I told Kyle,
knuckleballer?
I think every pitcher should only be able to pitch one pitch for the entire game. So if you're a slurve guy,
Tell you what, you're going to see a lot of
That's it.
blown out elbows. If you got a guy out there just throwing 100 curveballs a night,
well,
he's going to be hurting.
it'll take strategy. Don't keep him out there for 100 curveballs.
That's just bad managing, really. That's what it comes down to.
You got one more in you.
Somebody's got to, take responsibility here.
Can you name the closer for the Padres?
Want to find that for you?
I know who it is.
God, why do you
Oh,
play
I
this
don't, I have no idea.
Because it's Kirby Yates. Do you know who that is?
You didn't know that?
I don't think I do know who that is.
Yeah, that's why.
Has he always been in the organization?
No, he was a Yankee.
Really?
That's when. And like 4 other teams.
So you asked him a question to
Well,
get
I
an
wanted to
answer
see if
for
he
a
knew.
player that nobody knows.
He
Yep.
knew.
Kirby Yates. Let's look up his stats right here.
Yeats. It's Yeats.
All right. Oh, you see, he's kind of been around. Let's see.
I don't think he ever was a Yankee, actually.
No, he was. Actually, 2 stints.
Yeah.
Two different numbers. 1 year in 2016, he was 39. And
He's 40.
no, his number.
Oh.
And later in 2016, number 50. Two goes of
He
it.
gave up 39 to somebody. Popular
And
number.
he was an Angel for a little while and a Padre today.
Anybody else?
He started off with the Rays. 5 strikeouts.
He's no Steve Pierce who played for every AL East team.
Steve Pierce was a Yankee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When?
A couple years ago. That's crazy. He was on every AL East team.
What do you guys think his ERA is, Kirby Yates,
Like all time?
all time?
4.7.
3.8.
4-1-2.
Oh, kind of in the ballpark. 3.96.
Mach gonna take a shot.
Ah.
Hey, before we go close the hour, Riddler's got to give us our player to get
You know,
us that.
did you also just remember because we did that?
I just remember. That's what reminded me.
I want to take that shot. Actually, you're 0-3 now.
We don't have 3.
You weren't here 2 weeks ago.
Well, but I like that though.
I like it when I don't talk. I want Rebecca to host.
All right,
I quit.
Step in.
Take a couple shots.
We'll get there.
You're being a jerk.
Kyle, do your 4 push-ups.
I don't want to.
4 push-ups for 4 shots.
I'll do it
Seems
with you.
fair.
I'll do it with you. Come
Kyle, you can drink all that you want.
on. No, I do not want it because you have to have some. You think about it?
What else you got for the MLB, Kyle?
It's just too young.
Slow first hour. You know, there's a lot of upset. We're coming off of this is game 4 or 5 for a lot of.
Let's say the Mariners are on game 7 already.
Yeah, well, they're head start. They got a head start.
Give them a day off.
Hey, listen, I didn't make the schedule. You know,
You did.
can you be quiet about
Actually, you
that?
know who we could talk about? Talk about Jeff's team, the Pirates.
Want to talk about the Pirates?
Yeah, give me a second.
All right, sorry about the Pirates.
What about him?
What do you want to say
Only
about the
This
Pirates?
is like cold, but not really.
It was on top of the fridge.
So it's warm?
What's the opposite of cold? Not cold?
Talk about a team that all they needed to do was spend money on one guy.
And who would that be?
It doesn't matter who. Just somebody to upgrade a power position.
Like Kirby Yates?
No, like a corner outfielder or a first baseman. And they never
John
did
Jaso.
it. No, he was not a power guy.
You didn't play with him, right?
Pirates lost today,
Maybe they'll trade for Abreu.
6-5.
Archer pitched good though.
Maybe they'll trade for Abreu. The White Sox lost to the Indians today 5-3, and both pitchers didn't give up a run in the first 7 innings. Real exciting last 2 innings of baseball.
Real bang-up job, bullpen.
Oh, Indians bullpen is rough.
Yeah, but they won, so not as rough as the White Sox.
They were tied 0-0 with the Indians. I mean, with the Twins. I'm sorry. With the Twins in like the 8th inning, and they lost like 6-0.
Pirates lost in extras today.
They're not a bad team. They're just
Not a good team.
no. They're just so average. Everyone on that team is just so average.
Oh my god, hold on.
Even Ivan Nova.
He's a White Sox.
I know.
He pitched today.
I know, Kyle.
All right, I'm sorry. Pitched good too. What are we waiting for, Ken?
They're saying that the Pirates coughed a big lead today.
Yeah, they're up like 3-0.
It's not really a big lead.
Yeah, they lost 6-5. I mean,
Well, if they were up 5-0 going into the
5.
ninth.
I give you 5.
they weren't though.
This is riveting radio, Reed. Good job.
All right, anyway.
What do you
I'm
think?
trying to
You want to
understand
take our
this.
break? You want to go to the first break?
Oh, we're gonna do their player.
Yeah, if we don't talk football in the first hour, Kendall loses his mind.
I just like this segment.
All right, today's random NFL player
Football sucks.
is. You really mean that, Kyle? Okay.
Soccer.
No, that's not what you said. Today's random NFL player is recently retired fullback John Kuhn, born September of '82 from York, Pennsylvania. He went to Dover area high school.
Nice. From Delaware.
Dover, Kentucky.
He's from York, Pennsylvania.
Same shit.
Anyway, he was undrafted in 2005. He played 1 year with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He played 7 years with the Green Bay Packers and 1 year with the New Orleans Saints.
He was a Steeler?
Yeah, his first. They were the team that picked him up off of waivers.
Why do we keep him?
He had 217 attempts for 658 yards and 19 touchdowns. He also had 98 receptions for 642 yards and how many touchdowns?
That's I don't. We don't know the receiving number yet, but that's a lot of rushing touchdowns for those yards.
19 rushing touchdowns and 658.
Yeah.
That's like a season of rushing for an average, like a really average running back.
Yeah. I remember he had a couple of games where he had 3 rushing touchdowns.
For 4 yards.
Yeah.
98 receptions, 642 yards. How many touchdowns? In 12 seasons.
22.
13.
My God. 16.
9.
I knew it was going to be low, but I had to go in the middle.
But he is a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Once with the Steelers, once with the Packers. Good for him.
I did not know about that.
That he was a Steeler.
Did not know it.
Didn't know he won a Super Bowl with us.
Well, he's a fullback. I mean,
He was a fullback that went undrafted. He
But
probably
like-
didn't. He probably special teamed.
But the Steelers usually have like decent fullbacks. Roosevelt Nix.
Yeah, but you guys probably just picked him up to play special teams.
Yeah.
He probably didn't play fullback.
Which one was it? Cardinals or Seahawks?
Seahawks.
he was the long snapper.
Then he went to the Packers and then he beat you in the Super Bowl.
He's a dick for them.
He spanked you hard. Should have kept him. He wouldn't have fumbled.
Listen, I don't like Rashard Mendenhall. I hated the draft pick.
You liked him.
Didn't.
You never hated him until he fumbled.
That's not true.
It's true.
That's not true.
It's true. Just like you used to cry when people called you Yoshi.
That's not true.
His dad told me that. But his dad also lies about a lot of things.
Yeah, he said Pete Rose for everything.
It's true. I asked him the other day who his favorite 76er of all time is, and he said Pete Rose. So with that, we're going to go to break. We'll be back in 7 minutes. We'll see you then.
And now, back to getting sports with Drunk on the PPRN Radio Network.
Welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk.
I point at you. I point at you every time.
It's like interrupted me. I get so mad for no reason. Now you ruined the intro. We're here for nothing.
An hour 2.
Hour 3. Let's speed this thing up. Yeah, so we're back. Machine's back from vacay.
We in it.
We missed him.
But
Thank
he's
you.
too good for us to hang out next weekend.
Yes, Kyle. That's exactly correct.
It is.
Is it?
No.
He's fucking lying.
Are you lying?
No.
Fucking liar.
Mach was waiting for it. He was like, "Is he gonna ask me if I'm a fucking liar? Are you a fucking liar?"
Kyle will get this loop forever. Like
And it'll just be
this
lies.
is hour 2. No.
Fucking liar.
So I think this bracket thing is gonna last longer than just the bracket because I bought a bracket whiteboard. It's a Sweet 16 bracket. I like it.
I'm in.
We can do it every once in a while. It doesn't have to be an every week thing. Maybe like twice a week. So
What do you got for us?
why are you getting mad? Kyle and Kendall are really like infuriated. This
No,
year.
I was thinking.
They're both just like so angry for no reason.
You should like twice a week.
I'm not angry.
Kyle's been like salty at me. Kendall yelled at me and interrupted my intro. Machcine, I
It was
missed
silent.
you so much.
I missed you too.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get together and go like, I don't know, like drink High Lifes. No, dump out High Lifes.
Just pour them out.
Yeah.
Save the world.
We'll get some Red Dog. You and I will just hang
Yeah.
out.
Rub them on our chest.
I gotta get the Total Wine. I got 230s there.
I have 230s in my car right now.
Ooh, let's get them.
Wait,
Yes, it's true.
you have 230s of Red Dog?
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
you guys can't have them.
I can't have any of them?
You can have them for softball.
Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted them for.
All right, so today's bracket, Sweet 16 bracket, is fictional sports characters.
All right.
So
Rudy.
no, he's not fiction. He's not fictional. Is
He
Rudy fictional?
sucks.
Was Rudy based off a true story?
Yep.
Yeah. So
He
it's
was
not
also
fictional.
offsides.
Okay, you and Kendall, the homers of the offsides thing. Everyone knows it.
I only say that because
There's a
Kendall's
sign
like
for it at every college game day thing on Saturday.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Along with usually some pretty funny like blowjob jokes.
Mm-hmm. So, Machcine, since you're back from vacay, you get the luxury of picking our first section of bracket, or first region. So we have football, basketball, baseball, and hockey.
Give me football, Bob.
Football, Bob? All right. So the number 1 seed, Bobby Boucher, versus the number 4 seed, Willie Beeman.
Refresh my memory from
Willie
what?
Beeman is Jamie Foxx from Any Given Sunday.
Okay.
So I need votes.
Well,
Bobby Boucher.
Mama says Jamie Foxx is the devil. Bobby Boucher.
it's gonna be Bobby Boucher. anyways.
No, because I have to vote. And then Rebecca would have been the tiebreaker. So if you want Willie Beeman,
See the other two.
it's Bobby Boucher versus Willie Beeman.
Basically, what Kyle says, I don't like either of those options. Give me something else.
I'm going
one of
Willie
those.
Beeman.
All right, well, I'm going Bobby Boucher. So it doesn't matter.
Medulla oblongata.
I'm say crocodiles are only because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush. All right, and then the number 2 seed, Paul Crew, versus the number 3 seed, Vontae Mack. Vontae Mack was the linebacker drafted first overall in draft day. Sorry if you haven't seen that movie.
I'll go with Paul Crew.
I'm going Vontae Mack.
Vontae
It's
Mack.
Vontae Mack or all the way.
Paul Crew is from what?
Longest yard.
Adam Sandler.
Oh, Paul Crew.
All right, so Rebecca, Vontae Mack or Paul Crew? Just pick one. All right.
Can we do a write-in vote of Thad Castle? Because he is wonderful.
All right, Souls, pick a different sport.
Baseball.
All right, number 1 seed, Rick Vaughn, versus the number 4 seed, Mel Clark.
Rick Vaughn.
Wild thing.
Vaughn.
Yeah. Sorry, Clark. You're dying anyway.
Wow.
Strike this motherfucker out.
He was dying in the movie.
Yeah, no.
For you
All right.
guys that play wiffle ball with us, I abuse that line a lot.
All right, number 2 seed, Henry Rowan Gardner, versus the number 3 seed, Stan Ross.
Stan Ross.
Stan.
Stan Ross.
Stan Ross.
Upset City.
I just feel like a lot of people haven't seen that movie.
And, like, he also died.
Stan Ross?
Spoiler
The
alert.
actor died.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Not Stan Ross.
He almost died running the base, running
Right.
the first.
And then you.
Hockey.
Basketball or hockey?
Hockey.
All right. Number 1 seed, Charlie Conway, versus the number 4 seed, Derek Thompson.
Conway.
Conway.
Thompson.
You guys don't even know who Derek Thompson is, do you?
He's from,
Flight of the Commodores, right?
Do you know who he is, Kyle? Kyle, I'll buy your McDonald's tonight if you know who he is.
he's from, what the fuck's that movie name?
All right, so this is you stalling to try to think of
No, I'm
another-
trying to think of the movie. I forgot the name of the movie.
Okay.
Goon.
Older movie.
Who played? Okay, so how old?
30s.
I think it's an 80s movie.
All right, so
Silent
you're wrong.
film.
So you're wrong.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do, but no. Derek Thompson is the Rock's character in the Tooth Fairy.
Oh,
Okay.
So who cares?
Did not know that.
How did he make the list?
Well, because a lot of hockey movies are based off of real things. So unless it was all Mighty Ducks, we had to sprinkle in some losers. Hence him being a 4 seed. So it's Derek Thompson versus Charlie Conway.
Yeah, Charlie Conway.
Conway.
That'll make the first move.
Conway's from what movie?
Mighty Ducks, you jackwagon.
Kyle, you know I don't like that movie.
Because you're dumb.
I'm not dumb. It's
All right,
not a good movie.
Paul, tell him.
Number 2 seed Doug Glatt, which is Sean William Scott and the Goon, or the number 3 seed hockey version of Happy Gilmore.
Doug Glatt.
Doug Glatt.
You know, I thought you were going to say a name after that. I was like, who?
His name is Happy.
I know, but I thought you were saying like another character, but
No.
describing him as the hockey version of Happy Gilmore.
Oh, no.
Happy Gilmore.
No, Doug Glatt.
Have you seen The Goon, Mach?
I've seen parts of it. I've never seen the whole thing.
Let me tell you, the second one I think is better.
I haven't seen the second
And then
one.
basketball, we've got number 1 seed Calvin Cambridge, which is Bow Wow's character in Like Mike, versus the number 4 seed Air Bud.
Air Bud.
Calvin Cambridge.
Air Bud.
Calvin Cambridge.
Uh-oh.
Well, Air Bud's going to win.
Rebecca?
I don't like that one. Can we get a different person to vote?
T-Rex, what do you think?
Air Bud.
Well, it's also, Air Bud is a real person, so I think, by default, he has to lose.
He's a dog.
Yeah. You see Air Bud goes to college? Just him
There's also
smoking.
Air Buddies.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm giving Calvin the win. All right, number 2 seed
rigged vote.
Sidney Dean, which is Wesley Snipes' character in White Man Can't Jump.
Okay.
Or number 3 seed Jackie Moon.
Oh, yeah, Jackie Moon.
Jackie
Moon, yeah.
I was waiting for his name.
I had to put Sidney Dean as the 2 seed because he could actually play basketball.
You know, I was just watching like the highlight clips from Jackie
I'm
that
surprised you
movie
didn't
the other
say,
day.
Ray Allen's character.
He got game.
Yeah.
That's a real movie. That's based off a real thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's the song Jackie Moon sings?
Love me, sex.
Love me, sexy.
My favorite part of that is when he's playing like under the net and he keeps passing the ball and he's like, nope, not yet. Nope, not yet. He's like, give it. Nope, 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 not yet.
I'm a big fan of the eyeliner scene too. Intimidate. We're gonna intimidate. To my eyes. I'm also the jejunum thing was cool.
Corn dogs.
Yeah, the jive turkey scene was pretty funny, which is actually a real insult from that time.
That movie is one of Will Ferrell's like most underrated funny movies.
Yeah, that old school's really funny.
I
The Lego
just like
movie.
that Andre 3000 was in that movie.
Yeah. And Woody Harrelson
And that like black guy that's always on Wild 'N Out.
and the white fat guy that's balding that's in all those every.
I was
movie
surprised
ever.
for hockey you
What's
didn't go
his-
with
his
any of the slapstick
The guy
guys.
from Hot Tub Time
Slap
Machine.
Shot?
Slapshot, sorry.
That's the movie I was thinking of, by the way.
Was it real?
Were they?
No.
I was gonna say.
I was just going for more. I figured that like. So I knew that most of you had seen the Goon. I didn't know if you'd seen it. I know everyone's seen the Mighty Ducks. I didn't know who'd seen Slapshot. I know people have seen Happy Gilmore, and I figured like at least one of you would have seen the Tooth Fairy just from TV.
I've seen it. I just
I've
forgot the
seen it.
name.
That movie's terrible.
Yeah, so they made a second one with Larry the Cable Guy.
That's right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I got plans for tomorrow. I guess.
We saw Wow Airlines on the way to Philly. Machcine. On
Yes.
the way to Philly, we saw a purple plane that just said "Wow" on the side.
Oh yeah, that's that airline. Did you hear what happened to them?
The Owen Wilson airline? No, what is
No,
it?
listen. This was an airline. They lived and strived off like real cheap domestic flights, and then suddenly, just a few days ago, the airline like went out of business, and there was like thousands of people stranded in airports. Like they had planes booked, and then they're just like, "Oh, we're out."
Sorry.
So there's people there, and they're just like, their flight was gone, which probably sucked a lot. Like they took all the money from people and just left them hanging.
That's
Wow.
wild. Wow.
All right.
Sorry.
So basketball season's closing up. We talked a little bit about this last week, but we're getting to crunch time now. As everybody but Souls predicted, the Lakers didn't make it to the playoffs. He was really homering on them making it. He thought LeBron could turn that team around.
Way wrong.
You were way wrong. I agree.
Yeah, all of you guys were wrong.
No, we were right.
Actually, you guys all ridiculed me for
ridiculed
saying
you.
it.
We ridiculed.
So as of today,
I
we've
think you guys
got
should all take a shot for that.
No.
Why would we do that?
For
Because
making a
it's
prediction.
bullshit. If I was wrong, you would have made me do it.
That's not true.
Yes,
so,
it is.
No, it's not. So the Milwaukee Bucks have clinched the division, which doesn't mean anything because the divisions don't mean anything in the NBA. But
Why do they have them?
I don't know. Probably from way back when there was.
Because if you
seeding.
didn't say that, I didn't know they still had divisions. I
Yeah,
thought it
they
was just
do.
conferences.
No, they each have 3, and it doesn't make any sense. It makes no difference. All it means is that you play the teams in your division just one more time than everybody else.
So that doesn't affect the seeding at all?
Nope.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Except head-to-head matchups.
You could finish first in the in the Central and not make the playoffs because the other 10 teams in the other 2 divisions are better than you.
That's insane.
The division, they just don't mean anything at all. They don't mean anything. So right now we have Milwaukee, Toronto, Philadelphia, Boston, and Indiana all locked up with playoff spots in the East. And in the West, the playoff picture is completely set in terms of teams. Golden State, Denver, Houston, Portland, Utah, the Clippers, San Antonio, and Oklahoma City. All clinched, all 8 teams.
Damn, the
So
Pels didn't make it, huh?
The Pels finished at 32 and 46 at this point. They're 21 games behind the first spot.
Sub 500. Good stuff.
So, yeah, as of right now, the West is really, it's just about teams moving around within that. Denver's 1 spot out from the 1 seed. Houston and Portland are separated by a half game. Utah and the Clippers are tied at 6. San Antonio, OKC tied at 8.5. So in the East, though, you still have Detroit, Brooklyn, and Miami looking to hold it down. And then Orlando is 1.5 out of the 8 seed. Charlotte is 3.5 out. So it's pretty much locked up, but not like mathematically. There's still like 8 games to play for Miami. And Orlando has like 9 or 7, I think. Charlotte's, but so it's not impossible, but I don't see Miami losing, or I don't see Charlotte winning 3.5 more games than Miami, or Orlando winning 1.5 more games than Miami. So, but as of right now, if it ended today, Kyle, your 76ers would be playing the Detroit Pistons.
I'm cool with that.
Yep, figured you would be. Figured that you would be, but then after that, you go to play Milwaukee.
That's also fine. They're banged up.
Now, they're not going to be banged up 14 games from now.
I don't know. It's just all those big name guys on their team are missing time.
Now, but
Yeah,
not
but
14 games from now.
They're gonna be rusty.
They're going to be rusty, and they'll be rusty in the first against the Heat.
Yeah.
It's a good warm-up series for them.
What would be a bigger upset if the 76ers went out and lost first round or Bucks?
Bucks.
Just because
76ers.
I feel like it's the Sixers too. I feel like there's so much,
76ers.
so
You guys
much
have way
hype.
more talent. Way more talent. The only
Bucks are
the only
deeper.
reason you guys aren't the 3 seed is because you guys keep benching Embiid. If you guys just played Embiid, you guys would be first. You're only 7.5 out.
Well, hey, Ben Simmons is the front runner for Rookie of the Year this year. He's having a great year.
First player to go back to back, right?
Back to back to back.
Sixers usually beat the Pistons by a lot.
I think the Sixers or the Warriors would be the 2 teams that'd be most disappointing if they lost in the first round.
Be awesome if the Warriors did. Just get a new team
Well,
in there.
as of right now, if the playoffs started today, it would be Golden State versus Oklahoma City.
And Oklahoma City would just get swept.
No, I think they get swept. I think they win a game. I think they win a game.
They just play so bad against them.
Portland, unfortunately,
They're still playing good ball though.
it's been 2 games. They're gonna be able to compete in the West without Nurkic.
Oh no, but I'm just
So the Pacers are still playing good ball without Oladipo. Are they gonna make a run in the finals?
no, they're gonna lose to the Celtics in the first.
So it's like, I don't know. I think if Brooklyn can beat, if the playoffs started today, I think if Brooklyn can beat Toronto, I think Brooklyn's a real problem to reckon with.
So, you mentioned Brooklyn. It just sparked into my head. Does anyone else really hope that D'Angelo Russell is really bad next year?
No,
Because I do.
Why?
why?
I don't know. I'm just tired of hearing him talk about himself.
Well, no, I like it because one, it's pretty much saying "fuck you, Lakers," and it's really giving.
Kyle, why are you a Laker hater all of a
I
sudden?
I never liked Lakers, and I can guarantee that. I didn't really like Kobe that much. I respect him. I love what he did for the game, but I never liked him.
Why?
I thought the Lakers were always boring to me.
But why Kobe though? You didn't say the Lakers said Kobe. Why didn't you like Kobe?
He took fucking 45 shots a game. Obviously, he's going to score.
Well, no, I mean
His last game of the year against the Jazz, he shot the ball like 61 times.
Yeah, but whatever. I mean, that was like the end of his career.
Against the Raptors, he scored 81 points. Yeah, he also took about 58 shots. He shot the ball more than anybody else on that team.
Yeah, but he made more baskets than anybody else on that team.
Yeah, but
I mean, if it's effective, I don't have a problem with it. I
Yeah,
mean, is he a selfish
if
player?
he shot,
Perhaps.
if he took 100 shots versus 10 shots, if he still shot at 40% the whole way through, there's no difference in efficiency.
just like
I mean, I'd have a bigger problem with it if
Plus, after Shaq, who else was putting up big numbers for that team besides him?
they always got a great team around him. Besides, when they sucked, they didn't have anybody. He couldn't do it by himself. When they brought in Powell, that's when they started being good again.
Just Powell.
They had somebody out. Lamar Odom.
Lamar Odom wasn't on that team.
When they won again, yeah, they was.
I don't think he was.
He was.
He wasn't good. This good then. Not as good as he was after Shaq left.
Not on the Shaq team. He was on that team that won in like 20.
I know. I said Lamar Odom was really good with the Lakers after Shaq left when that
Yeah.
trade happened and they got him. And then he wasn't good when the Powell was there.
That's when he started dating the Kardashian. Started getting into cocaine.
Here's a Kobe hater. You're a LeBron dick rider.
No.
Yep.
I'm not.
Guy that thinks LeBron's the GOAT.
I don't.
Does. His GOAT rankings goes LeBron, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler, Jimmer Fredette, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant.
I honestly think Kevin Garnett should be up there in the talks. Like top 5
No.
of our generation.
No.
Who?
LeBron James,
Okay.
Kevin Durant. You don't think Kevin Durant's better than Kevin Garnett?
And Kevin Garnett's prime? No.
I mean, Kevin Durant has scored more points. He gets just as many rebounds. He's changed the game completely.
Kevin Garnett was a once in a generation power forward.
That didn't mean anything. He didn't push his team to the next level. As a Timberwolf, what did they ever do in the postseason?
They never got a team around him.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No,
But back then,
it doesn't.
it was more of two team. It was more of. First of all, Kevin Durant never did it either. By the way,
Kevin Durant made it to the finals.
and lost.
Made it to the finals.
Garnett won with the Celtics.
Won with the Celtics with a super team. That's different.
What do we call it? A super team.
I mean, 3 of arguably the best players. 3 of the top 10 players that year.
He had a better talent.
3 of the top 10
I
players
think the
that
Heat
year.
were more talented with the big 3 and the Golden State Warriors were more talented with their super team.
What are you talking about?
I
The Warriors
personally don't
didn't
think
have their super team when the Celtics were playing.
I'm just saying those super teams were way better than those 3.
But when the Celtics had their super team, there was no other competition in the East for them.
The Heat.
LeBron James wasn't there.
We still had to beat them.
They had to beat Dwayne Wade. They had to beat Dwayne Wade in the 8. I think Shaq was gone at that point. They beat Dwayne Wade and Alonzo Mourning
But you still had to beat LeBron James.
in Cleveland by himself. That makes a difference. You have so Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett versus LeBron James. You don't think they're going to win 10 out of 10 times?
No.
They are. I think they are. You think LeBron James can beat all 3 of them 10 out of 10 times? He couldn't beat the Warriors by himself. Why is he good?
Different. Because the Warriors were better.
I mean, Clay, Curry, and KD.
Better than Pierce, Garnett, and Allen.
So, in what
My
aspect?
point is, I think Kevin Garnett was one of the generation player.
I don't think he's a top 5 player. He's not a top 5 player.
Okay, that's your opinion. My opinion.
You think he's better than LeBron James? You think he's better than Kobe Bryant?
Did not
Michael
say
Jordan?
that. I said top 5.
He's a top 5
Maybe
player
at
all time.
5.
Top 5 player all time.
No.
I
Of
don't
our
think-
generation.
I still don't think so.
Okay, then whatever. You win.
I think
Not
Tim
gonna
Duncan.
fight it.
I think Tim Duncan's better. I think that Kobe Bryant's better. I think that Kevin Durant's better. I think that LeBron James is better. I think that Steve Nash was better.
No.
I 100% do. Steve Nash won back-to-back MVPs.
See, Dash also lost in like the first round of the playoffs. I don't care about
Garnett did that a lot too in
Don't care
Minnesota.
about MVPs.
They matter.
Yeah, and Steve Nash's team were better than Garnett's team.
Okay, but they still matter. MVPs still matter.
Okay. I don't think Steve Nash was better.
Okay. So you win.
No, you win.
No. Oh,
All right,
No, I already said you won. You
All
can
right,
have
what
it.
it comes down to, it's two opinions. All right, so
no, Kyle's opinion or nobody's opinion.
let's
No,
That's
scoop
what
back.
this segment.
I gave it to you.
Let's scoop
So
back.
we'll move on to finish the bracket then, just to get out of this shithole. So football: Bobby Boucher versus Paul Crew.
Want to wait for Mach?
Sure.
All right, well, guys, let's relax. Relax a second, guys.
So all right. So anyway, back to basketball discussion then. So I don't know. I think the East is pretty much locked up. I mean, someone else might have a different opinion. I don't think Orlando can trump Miami, and it's only 1.5 games, but I don't think they can. Or sorry, it's half a game, but I still don't think they're going to be able to do it.
No, I don't think so either. Actually, I want to jump back to the West real quick. There was a period of time that I really thought that the Kings could have made a push for the 8, and I'm pretty disappointed that
They shouldn't have the talent.
I know. I was
They
very
have young
hopeful.
talent. They just don't have the experience.
Like this would have been the year that it could have broke through, but and I don't know. I feel like
I think next year can be their year. The Clippers were playing really good basketball in the beginning with Tobias Harris, and they kind of rode that wave after he left, and then they fell off. They went from the 1 seed for a long time to the 6 seed. I mean, so it's not like they were like playing amazing. They dropped 5 seeds. So I mean, like I think they're better than the Clippers. I think San Antonio is one of those teams that could be fringy. I think Sacramento is only going to continue to get better.
I know I don't have any thing to support this because
Minnesota continues to be a disappointment. I mean, Phoenix is still Phoenix. Dallas is in the soft rebuild stage right now, and it's looking like it might take a little longer with all this Porzingis news that's going around.
Yeah.
That's going to be a huge shit storm in there if that's they traded away all that talent for him and he can't he doesn't get to play or anything like that. I mean, I think Sacramento could very easily make that push. I mean, you got to figure they're going to be a lottery team. They're not going to pick high, but they're still going to probably get a decent player. They got good coaching. They've got a lot of young talent.
Well, and I think
They got
too,
money.
and I think this is important in basketball. I think that the fans actually were coming out this year and where they weren't in years past.
When players are just having fun there again, like they did back in the Divock Bibby days. Like it's just like Fox and Bagley are having a good time.
Yeah.
They just have fun with the game. They're happy.
I'm hoping that they'll finish above 500, just for a confidence thing, if it means anything.
I mean, they still can.
You said there's about 8 games left, the 38, 39. Does that math make sense? Is that right?
Yeah, 38 39 means they played 77 games. So they've got 5 games left.
The Kings made a
They have
great.
5 games left, so if they go 3-2, they'll be 500. They
Yep.
have to go 4-1 to wrap it up.
Kings made a great push. They're definitely a team that you can't walk over anymore.
I mean, I think Minnesota is one of the bigger disappointments of the year. The fact that they finished even below the Lakers. I mean, Washington, they probably would have been a playoff team had John Wall been healthy all year, but he wasn't, and now that team's kind of getting ready to explode itself up. It looked like Atlanta was going to do something for a little while. They might have made a push. They were bouncing around the bottom seeds for a while, but I mean, none of the teams, really the 8 teams that are in the Eastern Conference are the 8 teams that deserve to be there. The 8th seed is kind of like the whatever team. Like I can make a case for Miami, Orlando, or Charlotte being in the 8th seed. But like Brooklyn deserves to be in the playoffs in the East. Detroit deserves to be in the playoffs. Indiana played hard, intriguing basketball after the Oladipo injury, and then the 4 seeds above them are the 4 seeds we predicted to be the top 4. I mean, maybe not in that order, but
So the Celtics are going to foreseeably play
Indiana.
Indiana.
If it ended today, it'd be Milwaukee, Miami, Toronto, Brooklyn, Philly, Detroit, Boston, Indiana. All the first teams having home court advantage.
I feel like the pressure is definitely on for Boston, especially the whole the Kyrie thing and all that. And if they go on and lose, like, I don't want to say swept because I don't think they're going to be swept. But I think if they lose in 5 games or whatever, I think that's like a huge hit, to coach is what Stevens was his first name. Brad Stevens is his name there. I think
I mean, Boston's definitely going to have a rough road if they're in the 4 seed. I mathed it out wrong earlier when I said the 76ers thing. If the season ended now, Boston would have to play Indiana. Then they'd have to play the winner of Milwaukee to Miami, which would be Milwaukee, and then they'd have to play whoever came out of the Toronto, Philly, Detroit, Brooklyn side of the bracket. So they definitely don't have an easy run if the season were to end today. And Boston can't climb up and get into the 3 seed from Philly. So they're pretty much locking up. They've locked up either the 4 or the 5 seed, so they pretty much locked up having to go through Milwaukee to get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep.
So they're not going to have an easy road. I mean, Philly and Toronto, if the playoffs started, they're both going to be hoping that the other team gets upsetted. Because I think Philly can match up with Brooklyn, and I think Toronto can very easily match up with Detroit. I think Detroit's the one. I think Detroit and Miami are the 2 teams in the Eastern Conference that are most likely to get bounced, like swept out of the first round and just exited, no matter who they play.
Detroit has no guards.
Indiana still plays with a lot of heart, and they still have a good core without Oladipo. They're just missing the guy that's going to go up and put 45 points up on a night where they need 45 points.
Yeah.
In the West, though, I still have no idea. I mean, I could see Portland getting swept. I really honestly could.
They'd be playing Utah, right?
Portland's got the home court advantage against Utah, but in theory, if Portland doesn't play well, Portland could theoretically drop from 4 to 6. They're only 2 games up on Utah and the Clippers. So, I mean, and there's still enough games left. Like I said, there's still enough games left. Portland theoretically could drop from 4 to 8 by the end of the season. And, I mean, I don't think they will. I think that they'll just swap with Utah. But at the same clip, though, I mean, if Portland holds it together and wins games and the Rockets hit a blip, they could move up into the 3.
Yeah. Well, that's a question
which is
for
what
that,
they think
too.
they need to do. I think if Portland could get to the 3, I think that they could use that momentum to play against the Clippers. I think they could beat the Clippers. And then after that, they would have to play the winner of Denver-San Antonio.
We saw it kind of last year, like the almost Houston breakthrough. I think there's a better chance for a repeat breakthrough. Or you think there's like that window of like has kind of closed.
As of right now, I think that window's still wide open if the playoffs started today, because Houston would match up against the Clippers, and then they would play the winner of Denver-San Antonio, and I think Houston could beat Denver. I think Denver is very good. I think Denver's a very good fundamental basketball team, and the Houston Rockets aren't a fundamental offense. They're not. They don't run the play. It's just the get wide open, shoot the 3 thing. I think they could beat Denver, and then at that case, it would be whoever comes out of the Golden State, Portland, Utah, Oklahoma City Thunder thing. So I mean, if the playoffs started today, if the seeding finishes out the way it is right now, I wouldn't be surprised if you told me it was Houston versus Golden State in the Western Conference Finals. And if it is Houston versus Golden State in the Western Conference Finals, it'll be very interesting to see. Hopefully, knock on wood, what we were supposed to see last year, and that was Steph Curry guarded by Chris Paul the whole series.
Yeah.
Because I think if Chris Paul didn't get injured, I think that the Rockets would have went to the World Series. I think if
World Series of Poker.
I think Chris Paul would have locked down Steph Curry. He was doing it already in the 2 games. I think the Rockets could have beaten the Golden State Warriors last year.
Were they up in the series when he got hurt?
He got hurt in the second game. I think
Warriors won the first game.
Yeah, I think it was 1-0, but it was like 1-0. I don't think it was by much.
But like the thing is, I think if the Warriors win the West, they win the title. I think if
whoever wins the West wins the title. To be honest with you, because I think it's going to come down to Golden State and Houston. I think Denver is a really good team, but I don't think they have what it takes to push past the Western Conference Finals. So I mean, I think that. Like the Philadelphia 76ers, if they go up against Houston, the 76ers will get into a 3-point shootout with Houston. And they won't beat Houston in that. I just don't think they will.
I think they could beat the Warriors in the finals.
I think there's a lot of people rooting for that matchup.
I don't see the Sixers making it to the finals. I'd like to see
Bucks Warriors. I wouldn't be against that. It'd be nice to kind of see like the more physically imposing Kevin Durant versus Kevin Durant. They're very similar in style of play, just Kevin Durant's a better shooter.
The Sixers won't make the finals this year.
Will or will not?
No, they won't.
They won't.
They're too. They're not deep enough.
Kevin Durant is a better shooter than Giannis, but Giannis is a better defender. But they have very similar builds, very similar style of plays, large, long steps, very flexible and creative with the size of their bodies, and they get to the rim with ease.
Souls, I understand you being a realist, but you gotta have some confidence in your team.
I do. Just
I also think that Chris Middleton and Mirotic and like the 3-point barrage they kind of have going from behind the line there, and Eric Gordon, right? Is that who they have? Eric Gordon. I always mix up him and Bradley Beal.
Bledsoe.
and Eric
Yeah,
Bledsoe, whatever.
All the same,
But
you know?
like, they have their own 3-point shooting threats, and I think it'd be interesting to see them. I think the Bucks are a much better team defensively than the Warriors are, but the Warriors can put up 55 points in a quarter with their eyes closed. So I don't know. I'm hoping Pels Knicks.
Next year.
Pels Knicks
For sure.
Pels.
Quick off topic, breaking news. The Yankees just lost Miguel Andujar for the year.
Maybe.
It's for the year.
He has the option. It came out. He has the option to have labrum surgery.
What happened?
Torn labrum.
Oh, just during play?
Yeah, he was diving back to third, and he got hurt.
There goes your trade chip.
Mets and Marlins tied at 3 here on this April 1st.
Not really, though. I mean, if they wanted to move him, it's 1 year. I mean, the labrum you can come back from. Oh, it said that he will have. I apologize. I thought I saw it said he has the option. Which wouldn't make much sense, because why wouldn't you do it? Like, yeah, I'll just play through a torn shoulder. That'll be great on the old throwing arm.
Did you guys do anything fun for April Fool's Day?
No.
No?
Saw the
You guys didn't go out to eat?
I celebrate it privately.
Oh, I respect your privacy.
the Dolphins signed Colin Kaepernick. I saw that this morning. When I first looked, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Most of those like fake trades always make me laugh, no
Yeah.
matter what.
I was like, on Reddit, they were like, "Josh Rosen's going to get traded 75 times today."
I saw one that had the Roby Coleman hit and then a flag and then Breeze or Saints Patriots helmets and then Breeze holding the Lombardi.
I saw the one of Dak holding the Lombardi Trophy up. Some good ones.
They'll win it before the Giants will. They will. They will. Especially now that they're going to go get Tyreek Hill.
Probably. I mean, they love the.
I wonder where he's going to end up.
Honestly, I have no idea.
I think it's going to be the same thing as the Kareem Hunt thing. They're going to kind of like ride it out a little bit and see like the severity of it.
But they were they said there was rumors of them shopping him before that even came out.
And they knew what happened. He actually told them.
Yeah, it was the difference
Oh.
between him and Hunt. He told them that this is what's going to happen, and then after,
Oh, okay. I didn't know that part.
and then after evidence showed that he was going to be very guilty, the Chiefs were just like, "We're not going to have him."
And before that, they were talking about giving him like a big extension.
Yeah.
Well, because his thing versus Hunt's thing was going to be a lot different. It was abuse to a minor versus just kicking a hooker.
Right in the dome piece.
Involved kick the hooker. I kick Rebecca every Thursday. She's only a hooker on Thursday. Thomas Hooker. All right, Bobby Boucher versus Paul Crew.
Paul Crew.
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby.
God, Paul Cruz sucks.
He's a point shaver, and he played for the Steelers, and he shaved points.
Bobby Boucher didn't really play football well.
That's incorrect.
He had good hits.
He played with heart.
He was a defensive player. That's all he had to do was hit
Paul
guys.
Crew shaved points on the Steelers
But he was fantastic quarterback.
that caused the Steelers to lose.
He won.
Which Paul Crew we talking?
Adam
Sandler?
Sandler, Paul Crew.
He was a convict.
All right, baseball. Rick Vaughn versus Stan Ross.
Wild Thing, baby.
It's a tough one.
You make my heart.
I think I'm going to give it to Stan.
I'm going to give it to Rick.
Because you're a
I'm
clown.
also going to go Rick.
Damn.
Damn clown. You owe me 5 push-ups.
That's going to be Mach's new thing since he came back. You owe me push-ups.
I've been saying that to Kyle for months. And I know he hates it.
Number 1, Charlie Conway versus number 2, Doug Glatt.
Doug Glatt.
Dougie Doug.
I'm going Charlie Conway.
I'm also going Conway.
Rebecca, Charlie Conway or Doug Glatt?
Doug.
It's because it's
You know, I
Kendall
picked up
said.
his candy up.
No, I didn't hear it. I honestly didn't hear what he said.
Do you believe that, Kyle?
No.
Honestly, I don't believe it either.
All right, basketball. Calvin Cambridge versus Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moon.
Jackie.
Calvin Cambridge.
I love Jackie Moon.
All right, we're down to the final four. We're just going to wrap this up because this is a quick one.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby Boucher versus Jackie Moon.
Oh no.
Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moon.
Bobby Boucher.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moon.
Imagine it came down to like a character, with two characters played with the same person.
Well, it did in the last round, didn't it?
Did it?
Paul Crew and Bobby Boucher.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I meant like in like two different like sports.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Rick Vaughn versus Doug Glatt.
Rick Vaughn.
Wild Thing.
Doug Glatt.
Rick
All right.
Vaughn.
All right, so Rick Vaughn versus Jackie Moon.
Rick Vaughn.
Jackie Moon.
Jackie. The character's just so funny.
The gimmicks, like the seahorses and shit dancing. My favorite scene in the whole movie is the when the guy comes in and starts masturbating to Woody Harrelson fucking his wife.
That was a cuckold scene. Jackie Moon. I'm sorry.
So did Jackie Moon win?
You know who should have won? Lou Brown.
We didn't do it, coaches.
We're contenders now.
You know what I think of your contract, Dorn?
All right, Jackie Moon is the winner of the GSWD fictional sports character bracket.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Paul, I'm really happy you bought that board.
We're doing another one next hour. I've got a lot of these in mind when I have to do 16.
Could you do coaches?
It was really hard doing the other ones because I had to come up with 68 things. That's why I just stick to liquor and beer.
Coaches.
So I can think of 68 beers, no problem. But if I had to think of 68 fictional sports characters without touching the same movie twice, we wouldn't do hockey. Well, we could, but it would just be all the Mighty Ducks. Just be all the Mighty Ducks and Doug Glatt. And the Tooth Fairy. That's about it. That's all I can think of.
Tooth Fairy. That movie was so bad.
It was a terrible movie.
It's so bad.
It was a terrible movie. Like you think about it, like there's all these movies on there. You want to put you can't put anybody from Remember the Titans. You can't put anybody from
We Are Marshall.
We Are Marshall or Glory Road, Coach Carter.
Now, Remember the Titans. Are those the real names? I know it was based
Yeah.
on a true story.
Yeah.
Come
Rudy.
on, Michael Orr.
Blindside, Rudy, Radio.
Radio.
Somebody had a group.
Comebacks.
Yeah, I could have done like comebacks.
Yeah.
Could have done Angels in the End Zone.
I've never seen that one.
There's also Angels in the Infield.
Wasn't there a chimpanzee line of movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Brendan Fraser.
MVP?
Yep.
Is that the same one?
Yeah, it was the Primate Bear Bud.
Yeah.
I never.
He was good at hockey.
No, what's the one with Brendan Fraser?
Was that what you did? The chimp? Isn't that the same movie?
No, I don't. Is it?
I thought it was.
Brandon Fraser's, I don't know.
Are you thinking of George of the Jungle? That's what it is.
Blast from the Past?
Yeah. He was a shooting guard in that movie, I'm pretty sure.
Hey, you guys.
Jackie Moon. I gotta watch that movie. It's been a long time.
Coffee
That movie's
Black,
so
dude.
funny.
He was the better character.
Who was?
Coffee Black.
Yeah. I mean, what was Woody Harrelson's character's name?
Can you pull up the song from Semi Pro that he
Yeah.
sings?
I'll get it up. Just give me a second.
Woody Harrelson's character was what was it? I don't remember. They traded him for a washing machine. I don't remember his name now. He was a member of the Celtics. He won the ring with the Celtics. I don't remember his name now.
I don't remember.
Blanking on it. Oh well, I'm gonna look it up.
Oh, it's a race.
I know he was sleeping with Kyle's sister.
No, Kyle's wife.
No, it was sister.
Who?
Woody
Woody Harrelson's
Harrelson.
character? No, that was his ex-girlfriend, and he was banging. She was married to that guy named Kyle, and he was fucking her. That was her husband.
Was it?
Yeah,
I thought it was her brother.
that's even weirder than if he came in and masturbated to them fucking.
Paul, you're gonna want the headphones.
Oh, is he playing it?
Hey, but I think that was the whole point of it.
No, that was his wife.
I'm like 90% sure it was his brother.
You're wrong. I promise you.
I'll bet you 2 shots private stock.
Okay, I don't know how we're gonna look that up, but sure. This is a great song.
That's right. Let's get sweaty. Let's get real sweaty. I'm talking rainforest sweaty. I'm talking swamp sweaty. Let's
I like the scene too where he gets thrown out of the game. Oh, Monix. Woody Harrelson was Monix. You know the promotional poster was Will Ferrell completely nude with a basketball in front of his crotch.
So funny.
It was great. I'm pretty sure though that Woody Harrelson's character was banging his ex-girlfriend who was already married, not banging a girl in front of his brother. Her brother.
You never know the Will Ferrell made script though.
That's true. That is very true.
Speaking of Will Ferrell, did you see that Get Hard movie?
Yeah.
No, I never saw it.
There were some really funny parts in that.
That was during that kind of period of time where the Kevin Hart was just annoying me.
See, but I'd watch anything he's in. I love Kevin Hart.
It's funny to go back and see a bunch of like older movies like before he got big.
Yeah,
And
like the Scary Movie.
Yeah.
And
They didn't even make their budget at the movie theater.
For
It was semi-pro. It took them $55 million to make the movie, and it only made 43 at the box office.
wow.
Which is kind of crazy to think about. Like that was before like the big Will Ferrell movies, though, because wasn't semi-pro before like Talladega Nights, Anchorman?
I don't think so.
Anchorman was pretty early, I think.
It was after Anchorman. It may have been before Talladega, but I think it was after.
Well, maybe. Yeah, I think it was after Anchorman.
I remember when Semi-Pro came out, like people didn't like it, and then it kind of caught fire like
After the fact,
It
yeah.
became more of a cult classic kind
Yeah.
of thing. That's what Will Ferrell is. He's kind of an obnoxious human being.
So funny.
I bet he's a real dick in person. Anchorman will be his best work, though.
Yeah.
The first one.
The second one was still very good.
It was all right.
It was very funny. Oh,
The second one was funny, but like to me, they were just forcing
well, they dragged out
all the characters.
Well, no, they dragged it out with him being blind in the shack
Yeah.
thing. We're getting really off topic here.
That's okay.
Yeah, Will Smith is the ESPN caster in that movie, so
Yeah, that's right. I'd be curious.
Did you
though.
lose, Kyle?
Yeah, it was the boyfriend.
I'm just like even for Will Ferrell to have a guy jack off to his sister getting fucked by his favorite
Just
NBA
the way
player.
it's portrayed in the movie, I thought it was her brother.
It's funny. Kyle is just like, yep.
It's the guy from Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of.
He's
weird
also
shit.
the asshole in Harold and Kumar.
Yeah.
You didn't know that, Kendall. You've never even seen Harold and Kumar.
I've seen it.
How many times? How long is the movie? Give me the runtime if you've seen it.
2 hours and 13 minutes.
That can't be right. Is it?
That's probably like 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, probably.
I think stoners are gonna watch that movie for 2 hours.
You also owe this rifle, by the way. So take a fucking sip, you jackass.
Wow, that was aggressive.
Yeah, Kyle, you're being really mean tonight.
You're not
for
gonna
no
do it.
reason.
All right,
I know
we'll
you,
go
and you're not going to do it.
We'll go to break a little early. We'll do a 7-minute break again. When we come back, we got some stuff to talk about in the third hour, including another bracket. And we got some stuff to get to. It's a surprise. We'll see you soon.
And now, back to getting sports with Drunk on the PPRN Radio Network.
Welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by Machcine Washable, and that's it. Nobody else.
Yeah, everyone else left.
Yeah.
Don't watch the video. Actually, yeah, please watch the video.
So we're back, hour 3. We have another bracket coming soon. I believe Kendall had something you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I figured we could do some. We always talk this big game, you know, like, hey, I bet you this and that, and we never follow through. So Mach's gonna write down some stuff, and we're gonna do some stuff from the upcoming baseball season. We're gonna make some bets. And a lot of stuff actually can be decided in, you know, we'll call it 2 weeks' time, depending on how things work out.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna pull up a random roster here. Let's just do the Dodgers. Dodgers depth chart.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go. Who's going to be the first on the Dodgers to hit 5 home runs? Bellinger or Justin Turner? I'm going to go Bellinger.
Well, how many home runs do they have already each?
I have no idea. But they don't have 5.
How do you know?
I'm fairly confident.
Justin Turner.
Right now,
Bellinger.
well, whoever picked Bellinger, you're in pretty good shape.
I was also going to say Bellinger.
He has 4 home runs.
Bellinger.
What are we betting here?
Shots.
Okay. I'll have to take mine now then.
Hey, you never know. Turner could go on a tear.
How many Turner have?
None.
Give me it now.
Give me it now.
Oh, someone's going to Krausers.
We never go to Krausers. So we McDonald's. Why do I always smell it?
Hey, remember that game we were playing on the trip to Philadelphia?
Which one?
The name game baseball?
Yeah.
The pitcher I was thinking was Hyunjin Ryu.
Get out of here.
We also played the name game where we came up with fake people's names and you
Yeah.
had to give a description of
We
them.
played it on the way here.
We played one round. Mach stalled for an hour. You owe 5 of these.
Kyle, relax.
No, you're not going to do it. I know you.
Kenna, what do you got?
Like I thought.
Oh, they put up another roster here. We came up with this game kind of on the fly, so and so far it's not starting that great. All right, so let's just do off the top of my head. Let's do the Mets. Who's gonna have
The first injury?
5 wins first?
DeGrom.
DeGrom or Syndergaard?
DeGrom.
Well, wait a minute.
No, okay, Kyle. You know you're a real ass. You know that.
What?
All you did was crap on us all year long. Oh, they get no runs. Guy, you should have more wins.
What did Syndergaard finish with last year for
I have to look it up.
wins? Roughly.
Just score 1. You'll win.
Syndergaard maybe had like
9 or 10.
9 or 10, 11.
Wow. So
He got hurt a lot.
I say Syndergaard. DeGrom's the better pitcher, but Syndergaard will get 5 wins first.
Well, I was going to say DeGrom, but now I really just want to say Syndergaard just because Kyle made me so mad.
Why? Because I said DeGrom?
No, because you spent the whole last year, you attacking me like I was the one, oh,
Yeah.
you know what? It's a good thing they're not hitting for him. I like when he loses.
He had 9 wins and had an ERA under 1.8.
God, why are you talking to me like I'm supporting him not winning?
I'm not.
You are.
You're coming at me, and I'm just explaining to you why.
By what? Explain to me
why
what.
it's bullshit. Why he only had 9 wins.
That has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
He's gonna get at
In
least.
2018, DeGrom went 10-9 and Syndergaard went 11-4.
Souls.
Okay, I'll take another one.
No,
No, it's basically exactly what you just said.
Kyle, the point I'm making is you're like shitting on me.
I never shit on you. I shit on your team. There's a
Kyle.
big difference.
Kyle,
So
you're
what was
talking
your
about it.
answer?
Sorry, 13-4.
That was Syndergaard?
Yeah. Syndergaard went 13-4, DeGrom went 10-9. I picked DeGrom.
I'm saying DeGrom's a much better pitcher.
That's not the argument. That's
Okay,
not,
and I
that's not
get
what we're
that.
saying.
I'm just saying that DeGrom can have 5 wins before Syndergaard. That's all he said.
I picked DeGrom because Syndergaard didn't have any saves last year and DeGrom did.
Reed, who was your pick?
I picked DeGrom.
For some reason, Syndergaard can't locate anymore.
All right, well, let's do the first round of our bracket. Sorry, coach's bracket. Oh, hey. Were you part of the bell for the bracket break?
I don't know. But I figured ring the bell.
Good for you. We had to take that away from Jeff several times.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
He's so fidgety.
Same with Massey.
All right, so we did, and then I
Another
hit it
one.
by accident trying to take it away. So coaches, real or fictional, there's no sports breakdown, so we'll go first, just top left. All right, so the number 4 seed, Coach Knox, which was the coach from Angels in the outfield, versus Coach Lou Brown.
Lou Brown.
Lou Brown.
That's from Major League?
Yeah.
Lou Brown.
Yeah, Lou Brown.
Good mustache.
Good guy.
All right, and then
Great
Coach
guy.
2, number 2 seed is Coach Hoskins, which is from Glory Road, versus the number 3 seed, Coach Bombay from the Mighty Ducks.
Haskins.
I'm going Coach Bombay. Coach Hoskins blew out his knee at a volleyball game. Not tough. Not tough. Need tough.
Playing with dedication.
Coach Bombay turned a DUI into saving children's lives.
Bombay.
Bombay.
Yeah, Kyle, were you really contemplating?
Well, Hassan
Dramatic
was a great
effect.
coach.
All right, moving down. All right, Coach. One seed Coach O'Shea from the Little Giants, the New York Giants coach Rick Moranis, versus number 4 Coach Monix from Jackie Moon's Flint Tropics.
Monarchs.
No, wait, Coach O'Shea.
O'Shea.
I gotta give it a Rick
She was a
Moranis.
good coach.
But he had a lot of heart.
He had the nerd kid that did everything for him.
The annexation of Puerto Rico.
Greatest play of all time.
All right, and the number 2 seed Coach Porter, which is the Rock's coach character in Gridiron Gang, versus number 3 seed Coach Blitzer. Anybody know who that is?
Exhibits coach and
Nope. Coach Blitzer is John Candy in Cool Runnings.
Oh, him. Him. Just put him in the winner's spot.
Coach
Blitzer.
Blitzer for me.
Blitzer. Cool Runnings is one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah. Some people say, they can't believe. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team.
I got to do a bobsledding thing when I was in Czech.
for the song, I'm gonna go with
And the
Blitzer.
man Sanka, the fastest of Jamaican sprinters. Go to Olympics, fight for Jamaica.
I love that movie.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Go guys. Bobsled time.
John Candy was just in such terrible shape for that
For his
movie.
whole life.
For that reason, I pick Blitzer.
John Candy.
All right, Coach Carter is the 1 seed versus number 4, Coach Dugan.
Coach Blitzer.
Carter.
Dugan's from what?
How do you not know this?
I can't place it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Carter.
Blanking. Oh, Coach Dugan is Tom Hanks' character in A League of Their Own.
Carter.
Coach, I don't know, man. But Tom Hanks' character fell out of a hotel while drunk and blew out his knee. That's why he couldn't play baseball anymore.
Yeah, Coach
And
Carter.
then he had the line, "There's no crying in baseball," which is Bob Souls' favorite line.
Yeah, bullshit.
I cried all the time. Damn it.
So you're going Coach Carter?
Yes.
All right. All right. So the number 3 seed. This is a good one. I hope you guys are you guys excited? I
Is
forgot.
it Patches O'Houlihan versus the guy from Happy Gilmore?
What?
Chubbs.
Mm-hmm.
Chubbs would be a 1 seed, Kyle.
All right. Coach Gaines, which is Billy Bob Thornton's character in Friday Night Lights, versus Coach Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moon.
Coach Gaines.
It'd be funny if Jackie Moon won both brackets.
Would have been funnier if it was Jackie Moon versus Monix in the finals.
Can we switch it to Billy Bob Thornton from...
Mr. Woodcock.
I was going to say Bad News Bears.
Oh, that's coming.
Gaines.
All right, Gain. Hey, Rebecca.
Sleeping.
Is she really sleeping?
Yeah.
There's no
Really?
way.
All right.
Rebecca. Gaines or Moon? All right. Spread and vote shit is bullshit. She just wants to show her ass cheeks off to everybody. Look at it. She's out. No, I'm just kidding. No. All right, Coach Boone from Remember the Titans versus Coach Klein.
Coach Boone.
Coach Klein.
Boone.
Really? You're not gonna pick Coach Klein?
I
I'm
don't
going
know.
Coach Klein.
Coach Klein from The Waterboy?
I don't know.
Boone's a better coach.
Man, that guy was scared of the whole movie, and then he imagined the other coach as a baby.
Water sucks.
Rebecca.
The whole symphony.
Boone or Klein? Wait, fell
Klein.
asleep.
Boone or Klein? All right, just pick Boone.
Damn it.
We're
Kendall said Klein.
This can't be fair.
And then the number 2 seed, Coach Buttermaker versus number 3 seed Coach O'Shea from the Cowboys version from Little Giants.
First one.
Buttermaker.
That's the Bad News Bears one.
Yeah, him.
Buttermaker, why are you in my house? Oh, I just came to make sure your glove was oiled. Definitely wasn't porking your mom.
Yeah. That's my vote.
All right, so you can do your questions some more before we get into the Elite Eight.
You guys have any suggestions? Any
You had that whole thing to go through it.
what?
Nothing.
All right,
I just want to be the only guy, just spewing out.
All right, what's going to happen first? Is Andrew McCutchen going to get hit 5 home runs, or before Bryce Harper can hit 10 home runs?
No.
They're tied 2 apiece.
I think Bryce is very good in April.
Now you're just saying that, right?
No, it's a known fact.
April.
It's a known fact. Last year, Bryce had like
If
13.
I look up if I just type into Google Bryce Harper's best month, will it say April?
Probably.
All right, I'm gonna look it up.
It would be like
And I'll have
December.
this open if I'm wrong.
So anyway, so you think Bryce Harper will hit 10 before?
I do. I think Bryce will have at least 4 or 5 this month.
Okay.
Actually,
so that puts him at 6 or 7.
McCutchen's not a home run guy.
But you don't think McCutchen can get 3 home runs before
No.
Harper
Well,
gets?
I owe the private stock. The first article was Harper's always a beast in April.
Written by Kyle Souls.
I have a shot.
Of the Getting Sports with Drunk Associated Press.
Around the horn?
What do you think? Yeah, we'll do it around the horn. What do you think, Red
About
Baron?
fucking time you did it.
Kyle,
You
shut
owe
up.
9.
I think Harper.
Bless
Yeah,
him.
bless you. I think Harper will hit 10 before McCutchen hits
I
5.
say McCutchen because Harper goes on the 60-day DL.
Listen, if that happens,
You owe private stock.
I know you sleep.
No, you don't.
Oh, my God.
You got a few more coming your way.
All right. What's going to happen first? Carlos Rodon getting 5 wins for the White Sox? Or Carlos Rodon getting 5 wins for the Red Sox or the White Sox? Or Justin Verlander getting 3 losses for the Astros?
Verlander getting 3 losses.
Guy in the White Sox.
Verlander.
It's just a sock I found. I wiped my mouth with it. That's my sock.
Verlander 3 losses. Mariners win 15 games for
All year.
or the Angels.
Mariners.
Haven't they already won 4?
Mariners.
5.
The Angels are going to be bad. They have Trout, but
They're 5-1.
They play tonight?
Yeah.
Do they win?
They're playing right now.
So they're 4-1.
They're 5-1.
They're not.
They played 6 games.
They played a 3-game series against Boston.
4.
It's 3.
4.
You said it was 3. You said it was 3.
Mets are winning 7-3 on this April 1st, 2019. Bottom 9.
rookie hit his first MLB home run.
Who did?
Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
You guys better watch out. Eloy's going to have a great April, and he's going to tear his ACLs.
Ooh. Wilson Ramos 2 hits tonight.
Robinson Cano was a good pickup for you guys the first day.
Yeah.
Then, how's he been so far?
You know.
He'll be
That's
injured
it.
soon.
That's it. Want to give you his line
Any
today?
injuries for the Mets yet?
Nothing that significant.
Wouldn't it be great if you guys won your division by 40 games and everyone just got hurt the first game of the postseason? They just saved it for the postseason?
It would be very appropriate.
All right. What do you think's more likely to happen? The Yankees winning the World Series, or the Yankees winning the World Series, or the Kansas City Royals making the playoffs? What's more likely to happen?
Yankees winning the World Series. The Royals are bad.
They beat the White Sox. Say it. Say it.
I'm not saying anything.
Say it.
Yankees.
Royals.
Did you know what I asked?
Royals make the playoffs, Yankees make the World Series.
I was just making sure you knew. 'Cause sometimes you like don't focus and like you just come in and answer without actually knowing what the question is.
It's like, yep, Reds.
Hey, who are the New York Rumble?
The WWE AA affiliate.
I'm just looking at this thing. It says New York sports teams. The first one is the Nets, which is pretty funny. Nets, Jets, Rangers, Knicks, New York Rumble.
Maybe it's like, is it like a lacrosse team?
It's their AAF team.
It doesn't. Well, let's find out what they are.
Well, now, I mean, Rebecca's asleep, so we could probably sit and talk WWE now pretty extensively.
Who said it's lacrosse?
I did.
Because it is.
Chicago. Jesus Christ. Connecticut has a lacrosse team.
Yeah,
The Black Wolves? Or
something like that. The Black Wolves.
All right, Elite Eight real quick. All right, so coming out of the southeast, number 1 seed Coach Boone versus the number 2 seed Coach Buttermaker.
Buttermaker.
Buttermaker. Actually, I take it back. It's Ultimate Frisbee.
How did you mix that up?
You know, because what happened was I was looking at an image and I was looking at the wrong image.
All right,
I misread it.
the southwest, number 1 seed Coach O'Shea, Rick Moranis' character, versus Coach Blitzer.
Blitzer. Feel the rhythm.
I feel like I know who's going to win this.
All right, the number 1 seed Coach Carter versus the number 3 seed Coach Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moon.
Carter.
Just say it, Kendall.
Jackie Moon.
Carter.
Flip a coin?
So throw my phone. Head screen up is Carter. Tails is Moon.
I think there's just an easier way you could have
All
done
right,
that.
it's Tails. What I said Tails was Moon.
Jackie Moon.
All right, so Moon wins. All right. Number 1 Coach Lou Brown versus number 3 Coach Bombay.
Lou Brown.
Lou Brown.
Kyle's seething right now. He has no idea what to do. I'm just gonna pick Coach Lou Brown because I don't have another phone to throw.
He's officially out of cell phones to throw.
All right, so Coach Brown versus Coach Blitzer.
Brown.
Brown.
Blitzer. How do we decide this one? We're gonna have to finish. Whoever drinks the most.
Rock,
private
paper,
sex.
scissors.
Oh my god.
All right, you versus mine.
2
2 out of 3. All right, let's do it. We got rock, paper, scissors, go. All right, we got Kyle up 1-0. Rock, paper, scissors, go. Rock, paper, scissors, go. Paper, scissors, go.
Oh, fuck.
Paper, scissors, go.
Ah.
Who won?
Blitzer.
Hey.
All right.
No.
So it's Coach Lou Brown. All right. Versus Jackie Moon or Coach Buttermaker.
Jackie Moon.
Buttermaker.
Buttermaker.
Come on, Kyle.
Goodbye, Mach.
Come on, Kyle.
Buttermaker.
He said Jackie Moon.
All right, so Coach Buttermaker versus Coach Lou Brown.
Lou Brown.
Buttermaker.
I'm a big Lou Brown guy.
Lou Brown.
All right, and your winner of the coaches bracket, getting switched to bracket, is
Jackie Moon.
Coach Blitzer.
All right.
Now, Coach Lou Brown of the Cleveland.
For every
Indians.
win, we're going to tear off a piece of clothing.
Okay.
Yo, she wasn't wearing 162 pieces of clothing, Kyle.
This is 2 wins. It's called a winning streak.
All right, well, we're done. Nah, I'm just kidding. What do you guys got? You guys anything funny you want to talk about at all? Anything cool happened in the Czech Republic sports related?
There was a big soccer match. Brazil came to play the Czech Republic, and they beat them.
Bad.
I think it was 3-1, but I'm pretty sure it was like the Brazil C squad.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, sports wise, nothing was really happening out there. I mean,
The Giants didn't come out there and play a game?
no.
That's a shame.
I mean, a lot of people out there were talking about tennis. I forgot what event was happening. Something was happening.
We got the Masters coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Tiger's back. Kyle, you excited about the Masters?
I am.
Are you lying?
Yep.
There's a FanDuel tab for it, so he's in.
Tiger does well. That's all I care about.
If we had the opportunity to broadcast there, would we?
Yeah.
From the Masters, I would.
I-
I'd have to
I'm
make up
going to the
everything, but
Masters.
Oh, with work?
Yeah.
And
We have
there's
a kettle
Eagle on
110.
par 9.
We have a kettle 110 at hole 8 and hole 12.
That's so awesome.
Free kettle 1.
What?
See, you have to set up all
free,
that? Or?
free kettle 1 and sprites
Where is this?
at the Masters in Cromwell.
Oh my.
Hmm?
When?
When the Masters goes to Cromwell.
Huh.
I don't know what the date is.
Do I have to leave work early again?
You have to leave work for the week.
Oh my.
Because you can get my VIP ticket, which means that you also get the Kettle One Botanicals for free. You get the Kettle One jacket. You get to ride around with me in the Kettle One golf cart. and most importantly, you get a free engraved bottle of Kettle One Gold.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. And it's engraved in diamonds. It's not true.
I was gonna say what?
Swarovski.
CJ Anderson's a lion.
Real quick, in a game of dodgeball, in a game of dodgeball, who are you picking? Okay, all right. So I'm gonna throw this out there. So we got I don't know if you guys want to write this down because I'm not gonna repeat it because I'm not gonna remember. So you guys need to go off memory or try to write it down. It's up to you. We're either gonna go. Team 1 is fuck, I forgot his name. The guy from Remember the Titans.
Oh, Jackie Moon.
No, the white guy.
Sunshine.
No, the linebacker.
Gary Bertier.
Gary Bertier. Jackie Moon. The Rocket. So Gary Busey's character from Rookie of the Year. And the Goon, Doug Glatt. With their 5th teammate being Coach Blitzer. Versus Bow Wow from Like Mike. Kevin Costner from Field of Dreams. Willie Weathers from Gridiron Gang. And Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks with their coach, Coach Monix.
Team A.
I was hoping you were gonna say Goldberg from The Longest Yard.
Team A.
Team A.
Team B. Monix is scrappy. He'll hit that dodgeball right in the jejunum.
I gotta go Team A.
Nah, you don't. Why do you have to?
For Gary Busey.
You didn't like Gary Busey.
I like
Can
a
you
little
name
bit.
3 Gary Busey movies?
I could not. No.
Black Sheep. He was in that.
Was he?
Yeah. He was the crazy
Yeah.
commando guy in the woods
Yeah.
with the rocket launcher.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Rookie of the Year. And that's about it. Because he's pretty terrible, but he's funny.
He was in Drop Zone. He was the bad guy in Drop Zone. Wesley Snipes movie about parachuting.
I've never seen it.
It's very good. Guy gets parachuted into electrical wires, dies.
Oof.
Crispy. All right, so we got another sports question for you guys. Come on,
Nothing.
what's the laugh for?
I'm just delirious. I'm so tired.
So if we did a 5-on-5, I shouldn't say 5-on-5. So you bring 9 people, okay? You bring 9 people. So you're gonna play a game of baseball, or you're gonna have a game of softball. Pitcher and all the fielders and whatnot. You're gonna play 9-on-9 football, like offense, defense. You play both positions. 5-on-5 basketball with subs. Full game.
Full court.
What?
Full court.
Full court. Yep. And then we'll call it like running street hockey, just to save them
So
from
some roller
rollerblades.
hockey?
Huh?
Roller hockey.
Yeah, but with
But
running.
flat foot.
Yeah. And it'll be 5-on-5 with subs, full game, full length court.
Pads.
No, checking allowed though. All right, so the 9 best players that you can think of off the top of your head, you don't have to share them if you don't want to. But the 9 best players from the LA Rams versus the 9 best players from the Boston Red Sox. Who's winning more? And then so we'll do the 5th one if you think there needs to be a tiebreaker. The 5th one will be a bar challenge, which will be flip cup, beer pong, pool, darts, and the mini basketball hoop game.
The Rams.
I got to go with the Rams here. I got a feeling they're going to dominate that hockey game. if checking is allowed.
Yeah, but I think the Red Sox will take him in basketball.
I don't know.
I think so.
Cooks looks like he could ball out.
Yeah, but so does Xander Bogaerts and Mookie Betts. Chris Sale's tall.
Put Aaron Donald in the paint.
And he's short.
Anyone gets close, hit him.
Shoot the three.
That's true.
Who's winning in baseball, softball?
I still think it's not the Rams. Didn't think that part out.
Could you imagine the Rams beat the Red Sox in a so-big softball game? They could, I guess, maybe, right?
Maybe they'll have a tough inning. They won't adjust. Clay Matthews broke his nose in that softball game once.
So you're picking the Rams?
I think the Rams would win, yes.
What's the final score, though? 3-1? 3-0? 3-2?
3-1.
3-1, so it doesn't get to the bar games?
No.
All right. So what do they lose, softball?
Yeah. They lose pretty bad in softball.
Okay. Souls?
Rams 4-2.
There's only 5 events.
3-2.
Okay. What do they win? What 3 sports? Football, hockey, and bar games?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rams win football, hockey, basketball.
I'm going to go Red Sox. Red Sox win softball, basketball, and bar games. Because even if you don't cross the elbows, Chris Sale can get pretty far over the table for pong balls. He's got a very long arm. All right, same type of question, but we're going to do the 9 best players on the Golden State Warriors versus the 9 best players on the Boston Bruins.
I give it to the Bruins. I think Bruins win.
Bruins are winning football. I think, well, see, that's the thing, though. You gotta remember, the basketball players are so tall. Imagine Kevin Durant. Chara's going to cover him? No. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Durant's 6'7". Who's going to cover? You just throw it up. Kevin Durant's like, yep, got it. So, I mean, I think the Warriors have to take basketball and football.
I agree.
The hockey team takes hockey. And I think that they could take softball, too.
I think it comes down to the drinking games. I think
Beer, softball,
Comes down to drinking games.
hockey players.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have a cutoff. That's fair. All right, we got another bracket. Souls' worst moments. And the winner is all of them. I was looking for my phone. I can't find it.
You threw it.
Yeah, I remember that now. So, I don't know. What time is it?
10:32.
It's only 10:32.
Yeah.
we have not had our A game tonight.
No,
This is a rough Monday for us. You know,
I'm
3
hurting.
of us went to the Phillies game last night. We got stuck in traffic and stuff. We didn't get home until 3:45 in the morning. We all had to work. And then Machine's suffering from 45 hours of layover,
I'm hurting
dragging, jet lag type of thing. So I guess we'll bring this topic of discussion up then. So the Raiders just recently signed Isaiah Crowell, and they're looking at another running back. I forget who it was. Who was it? Souls, do you remember the other running back the Raiders were looking at? I can't remember who it was. It was somebody, like, it was a name. And I can't remember who the hell it was.
Just like a random free agent or like someone that was...
Not C.J. Anderson.
No. It was like, I don't know.
Run back from where?
The Raiders were looking at another running back today. I can't remember who it was. But didn't they also sign Brandon Marshall?
They signed Isaiah Crowell and Brandon Marshall.
Right, but they were looking at...
Linebacker Brandon Marshall.
They're also looking to trade for Emmanuel Ogbah from the Browns.
He just got acquired.
Huh?
He just got traded.
Who did?
Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
They traded him to the Chiefs?
For Eric Murray.
I also think that Duke Johnson might be on the move to Tampa.
He requested a trade, yeah.
I think he's going to get traded to Tampa for Gerald McCoy.
That would piss me off.
I think the Browns would get Gerald McCoy, and then they would give up Duke Johnson and maybe like a second-round pick.
Where does Duke Johnson want to leave?
Because he knows once Hunt comes back, he's not going to be the featured back.
He's not going to be the featured back anyway.
Who's going to take his spot?
Nick Chubb.
No.
Absolutely.
Guy's got a little dick. Raiders also signed Luke Wilson.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I think Nick Chubb will probably go somewhere like in Jacksonville area.
Nick Chubb's not leaving.
Duke Johnson.
Duke Johnson.
I think Duke Johnson goes to Tampa. I think they work out a deal. They get Gerald McCoy.
Miami.
No, Tampa.
I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying other teams.
No, you just don't want them to get Gerald McCoy.
I don't think they'll trade Joe McCoy anyways.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers want to trade Gerald McCoy.
But they're dumb.
They'd want to trade him because they don't think he fits their defense anymore.
Seattle back at it, by the way. They're already up 2-0.
I thought they were talking about the Seahawks.
That's why I was like, what?
Legion of Boom is back. And better than ever.
Tim Beckham, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 458 batting average.
He should start like a Twitter war with Gordon and like hit it like Beckham.
I've tried to start Twitter beefs and no one's biting on it.
Yeah, because nobody really cares about Martellus Bennett.
I think we just haven't like
Michael Bennett.
I was gonna say Michael Bennett cares about Michael Bennett.
we just haven't said the right stuff. I think we got to get like really personal.
You suck at having... No,
Having
nothing.
you can go anywhere with that.
Yeah, we all know where I'm going.
Oh, they got Landry Jones, too.
The Raiders, yeah.
Oh, man, could you imagine Carr gets hurt, Landry Jones throws 50 touchdowns to Brown in 3 weeks? They win the Super Bowl together. How mad would you be, Kyle?
Won't happen.
It doesn't matter. It's not what I asked.
Yeah, be pissed.
Good. That's what I wanted.
Pretty mad myself.
Where did Terrell Suggs end up? Cardinals, right?
Cardinals.
Yeah, he'll end up a Raider, though. Remember when, like, the Raiders, like 8 years ago, signed all those really old defensive line, players that all left teams? Like, they got Nick Roach. They got, Justin Tuck.
Justin Tuck.
Yeah. They just signed a bunch of
Richard
30...
Seymour.
Yeah, they sound like Lawrence Timmons was looking at them before he went to the Dolphins. Like, they were signing like all these 35-year-old and older defensive players. Their defensive average age to start the season was like 31. They were bad.
That's one guy I really wish he didn't leave Pittsburgh.
Do you know that so far in
Timmons.
Derek Carr's career?
Oh?
Lawrence Timmons. I liked him a lot.
Do you know that so far in Derek Carr's career, he still hasn't been sacked as many times as his brother was in his rookie season?
Wow.
That's a cool stat.
That poor... That Texans team was horrible.
They've all not been that great. Some of them were a little better than others.
Yeah.
But
Is Matt Schwab time?
they've had the unfortunate. It's like the NFC North has had the unfortunate of playing with an elite quarterback that just handed the torch off to another elite quarterback.
Yeah. I think like David Carr wasn't bad. The offensive line was just that bad.
I saw this thing the other day that I don't want to say it made me happy because there's a lot of arguments to be made for and against it, so it's not like it's all people are stupid. But actually, I saw this really intriguing article about why Aaron Rodgers is not considered a top 5 quarterback all time.
What were they saying?
And they're just talking about like his completion percentage isn't as high as it should be. He hasn't. It's not like he consistently wins his division and makes the postseason every year, and things like that. And he's only won one Super Bowl, been to one Super Bowl type of deal. They broke it down postseason resume is that of Drew Brees, but he'll never catch Drew Brees in statistics. And I think the guy ranked his top 5 quarterbacks all times were, I don't remember the order, but I know it was Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana. I think it was Drew Brees and Favre. I think were his top 5. Do you think Aaron Rodgers is a top 5 quarterback right now, all time?
No.
No.
Do you think he will finish top 5?
Yes.
I don't know. I
think he could.
I think he could too, but I think he needs that Super Bowl to do it. Because he's not going to catch the records. He's not. He's already, isn't he 36? 34?
He got a late start.
Yeah, real late start. He sat behind Favre for a while. He's in his mid to upper 30s.
He'll never catch those stats.
No, he'll never catch Brady and Manning and Breeze and all those stats. He'll never be in the top, And so, statistical wise, he'll always be below Marino, which Marino will probably be the 4th best statistical guy after Brady retires and Breeze.
Yeah, I think you're right. He would have to go to win another Super Bowl.
I think he'd have to win another Super Bowl to be considered a top 5 quarterback all time. I mean, Montana's got all the postseason accolades you could want. Brady's got all the postseason accolades you want and the tenured career with the statistics to back it up. Peyton Manning's got 2 Super Bowls and all the statistical accolades. Drew Brees has literally all the statistical accolades and won the Super Bowl. So, like, for me, like, can you really put Aaron Rodgers over Drew Brees?
No.
Like, Drew Brees has more he's better statistically. He's won the same amount of Super Bowls. They've probably been to very similar postseason. They probably have similar postseason appearances and records. Because the Saints usually, when they go to the postseason, at least win a game.
He's 35.
He's 35. So, I mean, what's he got? 5 more years at most in him? And he's got injuries.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he lasts.
Like Brady
5.
doesn't. Like that's why Brady doesn't have the injury thing with him. Peyton could have probably gone longer if he didn't have the neck thing. And Favre got hit every time he touched the ball, pretty much. Brady's been well protected throughout his career, and other than that one injury against the Chiefs, has he really ever been injured?
No.
Same thing with Drew Brees. Has Drew Brees really ever been injured?
Not
Only
since
his
San
shoulder.
Diego.
Rodgers already has, 2 collarbone issues?
Yeah.
He broke his collarbone twice. He had his ankle injury last season that's shaking him up. And he doesn't really have the weapons this year. I mean...
Yeah. And another thing, too, we don't know these guys personally, but I think Breeze has a bigger heart to play than Rodgers does. I mean, Breeze is more of like a rah-rah guy, you know. Rodgers is kind of... He complains and sits back.
I think Rodgers could get himself in a top 5 discussion, but I think he has to win another Super Bowl to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like I said, he's not better than Brady, and he's not better than Manning. If he wins another Super Bowl and Breeze doesn't, you could make the argument for him better than Breeze. But until he does, like I said, they've both been to the same amount of Super Bowls. They've won the same amount of Super Bowls. And I feel like, I have to look it up, but I feel like their postseason resume is pretty similar.
What if he went to a Super Bowl and lost? Does that put him over Breeze or no?
I think that makes it more tied with Breeze, because Breeze is by far better statistically.
I agree.
Like,
I think it depends on who they play.
What do you mean? I don't think that matters. What do you mean?
I think if he goes out there and he throws for like 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, and they lose, I think he's better than. Like I think all-time status, he'll jump Breeze.
I don't know though.
But it's not his fault that they lost.
I mean, me
I don't
personally,
know. If he goes out there and throws 400 plus yards and 3 touchdowns, loses without making a mistake. I don't think that's going to happen.
Real quick, I just wanted to compare.
I'm just saying, if that was to happen.
I'm going to give you guys, so this was Aaron Rodgers' Super Bowl 45 line. He was 29 of 34 for 304 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. And,
So, I mean, but realistically though, that's an average day for Rodgers. If you break down Rodgers, say he threw for 300 yards, you'd be like, oh, man, average day. Average day, 300 yards. Right? I mean, if you draft Rodgers in fantasy and he throws you 300 yards every week, would you be like, what the fuck?
no.
Yes, you would. You would expect more than 300 yards a week.
After last year, no way.
I would.
I mean, if I had any quarterback that was giving you 300 yards a week, that'd get you the bonus. I mean,
I'm saying average 300 yards a week.
oh, yeah. See, it's tough for me because I don't think it should. If he just plays another Super Bowl, I don't think that should be enough to make him jump over Breeze.
I think he has to win it.
But even then, I mean,
well, because
I don't.
In football, postseason accolades mean a lot.
I get that.
But like I said, he's never going to catch any of them in statistics.
No.
And I'll never use the argument for Rodgers that he got a late start, and it's like, okay, like Breeze jumped teams and Breeze battled an injury. Like Tom Brady missed the whole season, Peyton Manning missed the whole season. Like, they've all had their issues.
Look at it the other way. I mean, even if you took his season averages and gave him that for 4 years, I mean, would he still?
I don't know. I'd have to break it down.
That's what I don't think so.
Right, Breeze has consistently been a 4,000+ yard, 40 touchdown guy every year. I mean, I can't remember the last time that Breeze didn't finish top 3 in yards. It's usually always been Breeze. It was during the regular season. It was always Breeze, Ben, and Peyton. Yeah. When Peyton was still playing.
And sometimes Phillip Rivers would get in there.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers will work his way in there, and then some other guy that's having a great year yard wise, so it would get in there. Like if Fitzmagic kept it going all year, he probably would have been in that category because he had the air it out offense. But you were always locked to be like, if someone at the beginning of the season, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, it'll be Breeze, Ben, Peyton. Like you'd be like, all right, that's fair, or any other variation of those 3. I just don't know that Rodgers. I don't know.
I don't think that him just, even if he won another Super Bowl, I don't think is enough to fairly say he's better than Drew Brees.
And, like, you hear a lot of,
I think it is.
You hear a lot of Packers and Rodgers fans talk about, like, well, look at his Hail Mary throws, and it's like, the Hail Mary throws, the talent that Rodgers exhibits on that is his ability to get the ball to the end zone.
And
that's it.
And just to extend the play,
yeah, he moves around.
That's the thing.
He moves around and he gets the ball down there. But realistically, like if you break down that whole play,
it's the arm strength.
His contributions is minimal. Yeah, he has to get the ball down there, but catching it's harder than getting the ball down.
Yeah.
Another thing is though that even though Rodgers is kind of like slowing down and Brees is still at the level he was, there's been a long period of time where Brees didn't make the playoffs.
No, I understand that, but Rodgers hasn't consistently been winning that division.
But he has before the last couple of years.
But to counter that, because you are correct, but to counter that, again, you got to look at an entire team. The Saints had the worst defense in the league for like 4 years in a row.
And the Packers had a top 10 defense for years.
I get that, but there's also a point where
if Brees
Dan Marino didn't have the greatest team around him.
I know that,
but he went to the. He was a game away from the Super Bowl.
But if Drew Brees is scoring 35 points a week and his defense is giving up 42, that's a different thing.
I get that, but not every game was like that.
Green Bay won over the past years. Green Bay won it 4 years in a row, but what I'm saying is but if you go back, when did Rodgers start? 08?
No, 2006, I think.
No, because the Giants played the Packers in the 07 play, and that was Favre's last season, so it was 08.
08?
Is that what you said?
I said 06.
Oh,
it
was 08. 08 was his first year starting, because after the Giants-Packers, when the Giants beat the Packers in overtime, Brees.
Did he sit under Favre for 3 years?
It was like 3 or 4 years. Yeah, it was
his
a long
first
time.
year was 08, because before that he threw 200 yards, 46 and 65.
Yeah.
Yeah. So since 2008. Since 2008, for Rodgers, he has... The Vikings won his first and second year, then the Bears won, then the Packers won 4 in a row, then it was the Vikings, the Packers, the Vikings, and the Bears. So he's only won it 5 years since 08.
But did he make the playoffs the other years?
What?
Did he make the playoffs the other years?
Oh, I'm sure he made the playoffs a couple times as a wild card.
My thing is, even though Brees didn't have the defense or anything, I get it. He didn't win the wild card. He had to win the division. But my thing is that Rodgers, he went to playoffs all those times. He only won once. But all those other teams at that time were very
right. Okay, but combat it with this: before Michael Thomas, name a Pro Bowl, name a Pro Bowler besides that wasn't a running back or an offensive lineman on the New Orleans Saints teams.
Technically, Marquise Colson.
No, Marquise Colson, but
he didn't
go. But he didn't go to the Pro Bowl.
Jimmy Graham, I'm sorry.
So Jimmy Graham, that's it. But Jimmy Graham, Jermichael Finley made the Pro Bowl. Jordy Nelson's made the Pro Bowl. Randall Cobb made the Pro Bowl.
Because of
Devontae Adams made the. Because of who? Rodgers. So then every single player that's ever suited up on the Saints offense should be a Pro Bowler.
They should
because of Brees.
I agree with that. They should be.
But they weren't. Is the thing.
Yeah, I get that.
Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams. There's been running back. Eddie Lacy made a Pro Bowl. Jermichael Finley. There's been other running backs that have made it. Outside of...
I get that, but those other same players should have been. I personally, Marquise Colson should have been a Pro Bowler 3 or 4 times.
I understand that, but even outside of Marquise Colson, that's still... We're still talking at least 5-1.
Devery Henderson and...
Devery Henderson should not have been a Pro Bowler.
No, I'm not saying.
I'm saying Devery Henderson shouldn't have been a Pro Bowler. Name me
Lance Moore.
Robert Meacham.
Name me 4 receivers on the team last year.
Last year? Michael Thomas. Hold on.
Well, there was Cam Meredith.
That played the whole year.
Okay.
It's not a white guy. Cadet.
But you see what I'm talking about right now?
I get what you're saying.
They should have been in the NFC Championship game.
See that's the thing too is, Brees and the Saints as an organization has had some really heartbreaking playoff, and it's hard. I hate the Super Bowl comparison only because winning a Super Bowl is a team thing.
I love Jeff to death, but I'm happy they don't make it.
But really, winning a Super Bowl is a team thing, and win or lose. Plays, obviously the quarterback has to make plays, but I think if Rodgers wins another Super Bowl, I still don't think that makes him better than Drew Brees.
Well, I personally think he does. Rodgers was never terrible. He's been hurt a lot.
When was Brees ever terrible?
He wasn't great with San Diego. I'm not saying it was terrible. I wouldn't.
Okay, but that.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
You're talking his rookie in his sophomore year.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he wasn't great. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he was terrible.
I understand what you're saying, but I think that when Brees was playing in San Diego, offenses were still kind of. It wasn't this explosion. Like I mean, to have LaDainian Tomlinson is a huge benefit.
No, he didn't have the weapons he had in like. All right, hold on. Because like San Diego had weapons at the time.
I guess what I'm saying is that he didn't have to throw for 4,000 yards.
He didn't.
Let's break it down this way. All right, we'll do this real quick, and then
But
we'll
like he
do our
didn't throw that
reviews
much
and our
in
plugs.
New Orleans last year.
Hold on, we're
Kamara
gonna do this
and Ingram.
You got to think about it.
real quick. Let's do this.
In every season, Drew Brees is going to give you what?
Who's
Except
a
for
better
Rodgers.
pocket passer, Brees or Rodgers?
Brees.
Pocket Brees.
Who has better mobility?
Rodgers.
Okay. Who's got a better deep ball?
Rodgers.
I think that's fair. I think Rodgers has a better deep ball.
Yeah,
Okay. Who's got better pre-snap decision making?
Brees.
Brees.
I don't know.
Brees. I think Brees 100% does.
I've seen him make a lot of mistakes.
Brees' mistakes come off of forcing passes deep down the field.
But you can see that with that Rodgers too, though. You see with any quarterback, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's where Brees' mistakes don't come from reading
Or
defenses.
Brees makes a lot of decisions where like he shouldn't throw like in the playoffs last year, he threw a pick on the ground. Like, he tried to throw it away.
I think Brees is better. I think Brees has a higher football IQ.
I agree.
I personally don't.
I think. Okay, well then, what do you think, Kendall? Brees or Rodgers at pre-decision making, pre-snap decision making?
I would go Brees, but it's a bias on my point because I dislike Rodgers.
No, why does that have to be a bias though? There's no bias to it.
I personally think
I hate Rodgers too, but I'll vote for Rodgers for the better deep ball and the better. I mean, I just think Brees has a better pre-snap decision making.
I guess what I'm saying is that for me that is kind of a more equalizing argument for me. I don't know. I give it a Brees, but I think Rodgers is not far behind. I guess.
No, so okay, fine. Who's got better leadership?
Brees.
I think Brees does too.
I'll say Brees.
Okay. Hold on, I had some more of these right.
Rodgers is a douchebag. He falls under the quote unquote Ben Roethlisberger status. If you're gonna say that,
Don't quote unquote.
No.
he is.
you think Roethlisberger's an asshole.
I didn't. Kyle,
the
I
entire-
never said that.
But everybody else thinks Roethlisberger's a good leader.
Who's everybody else?
The offensive line. That's 5 guys. Terry Bradshaw, Bruce Arians, Mike Tomlin. I'll take all those opinions instead of those 2.
Kyle, but it's more than 2.
No, it's
you're
not.
You're gonna bring up the same argument.
No, I'm not.
you are.
You're going to say Ben's a bad leader.
I
when
didn't say that.
Everybody else besides the 2
Nobody here said that.
guys that want the ball don't. And Le'Veon Bell was just saying shit so he didn't feel like an asshole for getting less money.
Who's better at extending the play?
Rodgers.
Who's better clutch?
Rodgers.
Brees.
I'd say Rodgers.
Brees. When they went to the Super Bowl, the year they went to the Super Bowl, Brees brought them back from behind in both the NFC Championship game and the divisional round, and then won the Super Bowl. And in that same postseason, Rodgers failed to drive them down the field in the fourth quarter to win the Super Bowl.
And Brees failed to go down the field against the Rams in the post in the
One
overtime.
game.
More than that.
No,
we just don't
game.
remember.
Okay, fine. In 2011, the 2011 season, Brees had 7 comeback fourth quarter last drive victories.
What about Rodgers?
Hold
Had one.
on.
Won the whole season.
I don't think that's true.
It's
Drew Brees has 40.
in 2011. Brees had led the Saints back as a record 7 times against the Texans, Panthers twice, Falcons twice, Titans and Bucks. Rodgers has only 1 comeback victory in the game against the Giants, Week 13 in 2011.
Okay, how about
Per NFL.com.
How about the Hail Mary against the Cardinals in the playoffs.
Well, here's
That's
the deal.
extending
Here's the
the
deal.
play, not clutch.
Drew Brees
It's
is
still clutch.
It's not clutch.
It's
Kyle.
clutch.
It's more clutch on a wide receiver to catch a Hail Mary than it is for the
so
quarterback
you're
to
saying
place
it's
it.
better for the wide receiver to catch it than the quarterback extending the play
Hold
for the
on.
wide receiver
Here's
to
the deal.
catch it?
No, I'm saying the extending
That's
the
exactly
play.
what you're saying.
Hold on.
What I'm saying is the extending the fucking play is on Rodgers. The clutch portion of that play is catching the football. Tell me how catching a football has anything to do with the quarterback. Odell Beckham Jr.'s catch against the Giants, is that on Eli Manning? Is that play because Eli Manning put the ball in the perfect spot for him to catch it one-handed? No, that's
So
Odell.
you're saying it was luck for Breeze to throw the ball and him to catch it.
Kyle, we're talking about a Hail Mary. You specifically brought up the Hail Mary. Specifically the
It
Hail
wasn't
Mary.
a Hail Mary. It was pretty much a dime to Jake Junis.
No, Kyle, we're talking about Hail Marys.
That was
You
a Hail Mary.
brought up Hail Marys. The Hail Marys against the Lions.
Yeah,
The
I
Hail
get
Mary
that.
against
But you
the
also threw
Cardinals that they ended up losing in overtime to.
Okay, I'll give it to.
Listen, here, since 1960, the number 2 guy for game-winning drives is Drew Brees with 48. Aaron Rodgers is 20.
Whatever, you're right.
20.
Go ahead.
Well, game-winning drives would be clutch,
Okay,
correct?
get it. Go ahead.
That's really all I got. I'm just tired.
Okay,
of
then Drew Brees wins.
It's not fucking personal. We'll go to beer reviews. Jesus Christ.
No, I'm not making it personal. I'm just saying.
I'm doing my beer review.
Whatever.
I'm done with segment. The Lizard of Kaz. I actually really like this. I've had this before on the show. I find it not too like blueberry. It's a little on the sweeter side, which I'm not usually a fan of for the stouts. But I don't know what the hell I did with my beer journal. Oh, here it is. I'm not really crazy about the sweet beers, and this kind of it's on the sweeter side, so it gets a little rough towards the last third of it for me because it's a 750 beer. It's 10.5%, but it doesn't really drink like it. For color, I put it in a glass the first time. It's kind of shimmery. Like you do kind of get like that little bit of that blue hue from the blueberries.
Is it the same like thing every time? Like is like a difference between every time it comes out? Or
No, it's just the same thing. It's
the same
blueberries
thing.
with chocolate and vanilla aged in bourbon barrels. Yeah, I mean, like there might be a taste variation because of the bourbon barrels they age it in, but it's not like Bourbon County where they change up
Right.
the recipes and stuff. But I mean, I give it 4 stars. I said to get it again. I've had it on tap and I've had it in the bottle. It's both good, very time. But I definitely couldn't have I wouldn't want more than one of these every once in a while. And then I had Schaefer. I put it in my beer journal a while ago, so I'm not going to do it again. It's just crushed beer.
Yeah.
It's a drink 60 of them after a softball game.
The Czech Budweiser is fantastic. It's up there, you know. I've talked about the Gambrinus on the show. I love these beers. I give it a nice 4-star review. But I mean, really, it's just a pale lager. It's anything crazy. It's just great taste. Big fan.
Now, did American Budweiser take the name from them?
Yes, they have been suing each other for a long time.
Oh, really?
That's why, because they actually sell this beer here, but it's called the Czechvar.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because Budweiser blocked them from using the word Budweiser.
Well, I know that Budweiser does, like a lot of wine companies do. Budweiser does, they technically have a different corporate structure for America versus the rest of the world. Because, in the rest of the world, actually, in the rest of the world, I'm pretty sure Budweiser and Miller Coors merged.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't do it in America because it violates the monopoly rules.
The monopoly stuff, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure in the rest of the world, Budweiser and Miller Coors. I can't remember who bought out who.
I think InBev bought out Miller Coors.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
But yeah, in America, it's America, Canada, and 2 countries in Europe. They didn't do it because it violates monopolistic rules.
So what? Fun fact: Turkish airport had Miller genuine draft bottles.
That's pretty cool. Those are probably 30 years
They
old.
were very expensive.
Were they very dark in color?
No.
No.
Just very expensive. I think one beer was $7.
Wow.
Which, I mean, it's an airport, but...
I mean, I paid $13 for a 25-ounce Bud Light Lime last night.
Bad decision.
Nah, I love Bud Light Lime.
Ugh.
I do. I love it. We actually have a special thing planned for a show. It's not Bud Light Lime, but I have a special thing planned for everybody on the show. I've already purchased the products, but I need a confirmation of everyone on the show because I want everyone to be present for it.
I sort of discussed this with Riddler.
He knows what it is, yeah.
Roughly.
Souls had a plethora of beers over there, it looks like. Are they just 2? The two super doubles?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you had 2 beers. Well, we know what you think about Super Duper. What do you think of the caramel one?
The citrus Siraj. If you like orange juice, you're gonna love it. If you don't, it's gonna be whatever.
Tastes like orange juice.
Yeah, exactly like orange juice.
I mean, he gave me a sip. It was good. I think like really cold.
I don't personally love it. I'm not a big fan of orange juice, anyways.
Too
But
heavy.
you
in
love
the
the
orange.
too juicy.
It's not like that. Like that. That's like a more tangy orange juice.
All right, I like that a lot.
That beer is actually made with tang.
little tang.
I know it's not like an idiot, but what
No, I'm not saying that at all. I like that word. I don't hear tang a lot. I like that a lot.
Do you think it's fair to say that Tang is to orange juice as Yoo-Hoo is to chocolate milk?
Yes.
Yes, that's the perfect analogy.
it's more sweeter than orange.
You know, Solos, you're in a tough spot because you're trying to chase something as good as the Super Double Citra, and it's
last week I liked the beer I had last week.
it's going to be hard to do because the bar is set very high. I feel.
Well, we are going to, once the weather gets warmer, we're going to try to get a Saturday or a Sunday coordinated before football season kicks off. And we are going to venture over the border into Brewster, New York. Myself, I've made a lot of connections in the liquor and beer world. And I have a friend that owns a liquor store in Brewster, New York, where they have, as of 3 weeks ago, we were texting, he has over 786 different beers on in store.
And these are all going to be free for us.
Well, no, we're going to have to buy them. But if we get together growlers, which we have plenty of, he said he'd give me a couple free growler fills. Because in New York, it's legal to tap 15 kegs per beer store and fill growlers and sell growlers for beers you don't want to buy.
Cool.
You can just buy it. Yeah. So that might be something cool we can do on a show one time.
Do they have Heineken?
And the growlers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like 5 of those.
How it works is you shotgun the mini keg.
That'd be awesome.
Or put it
What
in the
a
cooler and
mess.
sit on it.
Yeah, I didn't sit on it. Just the lid was on it.
It was very funny, though.
A lot of beer spilled in that rug.
Yeah.
Shit beer.
Hashtag Pittsburgh trip, whatever time it was.
Kendall, how was your beer?
I think that was the Bengals game.
I think you're right.
Philly are meeting
Yes.
with Keuchel as of right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, good. Get that guy on a fucking roster. I drafted him. He's not playing. Get the fucking arm dude out there. Is that Keuchel right? That's him, the arm
No,
guy?
that's Kimbrel.
Whatever.
Another
Bicep.
thing is that Harper was going to go back to Washington until they lowballed him with like a $224 deal. $220 million deal.
Yeah, we know what you meant.
$224, Bryce. That's the best we're giving you.
You know what I meant.
Where do you want to park?
Could you imagine if Bryce
Mach saw the...
But could you imagine if Bryce turned it down, right? So say he turns it down, right? And all of a sudden he gets like a thing, right? And it was like, oh no, sorry, like you misread the contract. We were going to offer you $242 per hour you were at a game.
Wow.
Which still doesn't. I don't think it adds up.
No. Because I think right now he's making like $22,000 an hour.
Real quick?
What's the average game cost? Average game last
3.5.
3.5 hours.
In my opinion.
It's like 3.5, 4. If
No.
it's the Yankees Red Sox game, 7.
I would say 3.5.
So I'll say 3.5. And what was the number? 224.
Yeah, 224.
We can talk while I'm doing
I'm
this.
going to do my beer review real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I had the
How much
Gunner's
does he make?
daughter.
How much does he make in a year? Sorry. Sorry. How much does he make in a year?
330.
25 a year.
Yeah.
Not close. Not close. He'd make $150,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine like there was like a poor lingoed thing in it. Like it was like, oh, like no, you're gonna be making like $234 million a year.
I think when it's all said and done, he's going to
Oh.
be very happy he spent his time in Philadelphia.
Well, we'll see.
He's just happy to be playing baseball. I think the thing with Harper is I think Harper wanted to do the one big contract where he got paid because he wanted to get the lockup for his money and like because he had fun in the Nationals. He just didn't look like he had a lot of fun last year. I think it's because he was overthinking like this free agency thing coming up. That's why I think he wanted such a long-term deal. Because he's still young. He's still a kid at heart, really. He just wants to play baseball. Like now he's just got the next 13 years locked up in Philly. Like and it's not Philly. I think it would be anywhere. If he signed it with the White Sox, the Padres, the Brewers, the Dick Fucks, anybody. I just think it would be like, okay, now I know I'm here for 13 years.
Yeah.
I'm getting the money that I want, and everything's
Settle in.
fine. And now it's just like, let me play baseball and enjoy life for 13
We also
years.
don't know how they think about their family lives.
That's true. It's a lot of you see a lot of that with the NFL. The NFL is the one sport that you don't see it as much. Like you talk about all these players and stuff like this, and you don't take their personal lives into consideration. Where, I mean, you got to figure for an NFL player. I mean, like it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. A lot of NFL players, their families don't live in the city they play in.
Like for example, like Bryce can raise his family in the same state, same school. Their kids don't have to change schools or anything.
I mean, you can drive back to Washington.
You know what I'm
I'm saying? He can stay in Washington.
Yeah.
He's saying what you're saying.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think we ever take that into consideration.
No fan takes personal
Like they
lives
just
into
announced he's having a
consideration.
kid today.
Well, no. It was the Brian Urlacher thing. Brian Urlacher said that he wanted to play after he retired. After the Bears decided they weren't going to re-sign him, he said that he thought he could still play and he'd like to play at Arizona because he went to school in New Mexico. He'd be close to his college alma mater. And his wife said, she's like, our kids are 13 and 9. I don't want to move them out of school. So Brian Urlacher just retired. The Cardinals offered him a contract, a good contract, a fair contract, and he would have taken it. But his wife's like, do you really want to go play football bad enough to the point for 2 years where we have to move our kids? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's that family.
Absolutely.
It's the personal side of things that you don't see. Actually, did you see that the shameless plug Elvis Duran in the morning show? Did you see that Froggy met Tim Tebow?
Oh, that's awesome.
He met him at a golf thing.
Really?
The Tebow Invitational or something like that.
I gotta get to a Binghamton Mets game this year. Oh no, he's in AAA now.
You can still go to a AAA game.
Who's AAA in Connecticut?
Nobody. You can still go.
I'm not traveling out of state for a minor league game.
Well, not. What if we
Actually-
go for the whole series?
I already know. I already got your birthday present.
It's a custom-made Tebow's Mets Yankee shirt.
So you think Kendall knows that we already signed off the show and we're just waiting for him to push the button?
No
Actually,
shot.
It's 6 tickets to a Yankee.
All right, well, Kendall, you do your beer plug real quick, and then let's do some social
Yankee
media.
socks, all of us.
It's classic getting Sports with Drunk to be 6 minutes past cutoff time, and now we're coming up with conversation. So do your
But
beer
you're also
reviews.
very drunk.
I mean it.
So I had the Gunner's daughter from Mass Landing in.
How you guys doing on your depth of your beer journals, by the way? Sorry, not to interrupt, but
I know Kendall can't just get this beer review out.
Not that far in mine.
I'm halfway.
I still got a lot of space.
All right, go ahead.
Mass Landing from Maine, about 5.5%. I don't know how
I
much
might
it
take
cost.
Kyle's news it for myself. Go ahead.
Probably better off.
It was very good. I liked it a lot. I gave it 4 stars. I would
4?
I gave it 4 stars.
You only give it 4?
I only gave it 4 stars.
Oh man.
I'm kind of stingy though. We all know this. I'm a stingy guy.
Yeah, but 4?
Well, no beer can be 5
Name
stars.
me a stout you've had better than that.
Guinness.
I will shoot you. If you say yes.
No. But I haven't ranked really anything higher than especially for a stout. Most of the stouts I've had on the show were like 3s, 2.5.
So you haven't ranked a beer higher than 4 stars yet?
No,
I think I've ranked 3 beers at 4.5.
I've had a few 5s.
I haven't ranked anything higher than this.
You can
I've
give
had a
halves,
4.
you know.
I don't like giving halves.
Then he
All-
only has to color half the
All
star.
or
and-
nothing.
All right.
But very tasty. You know,
For a change of pace in terms of volume, enunciation, and enthusiasm, Mach, where can they find us on social media?
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Getting Sports with Drunk.
send in my beer review.
You gave it the stars.
Notes of chocolate, peanut butter, blah blah blah. You heard it all before. I'm the last guy to have it.
I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
I thought you were done
in
too.
the
I'm
beer
sorry.
review journal, the last thing under stars is would you get it again? The notes is before the stars.
I was cut off like 9 times in that beer review.
That is true. I thought you were done too. I
It's
apologize.
been had 3 times on the show. He's the last guy.
But be sure to find us on Facebook and
Beer
Instagram
sucks.
at Getting Sports with Drunk. Twitter is GSWD_4.
Make sure you use hashtag GSWD_4 for all your daily uses, whether it's getting interrupted during a beer review or coming up with content at the last second.
Subscribe on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and Spotify.
Where you find internet radio shows, podcasts, and poop, you find us.
Check us out every Monday night on the PPR and Radio Network from 8 to 11-ish. Check out me and Kendall tomorrow. Will be on the Peter Pino Show from 7:30 to
If Mark's not
10:30.
Sleeping.
Yeah. here on the PPRN Radio Network. Check it out.
All right. We'll be back next week, as Mach said, from 8-ish to 11-ish. Hopefully we have a couple more people coming on. I'd like to get a full house going. I don't think we've had a full house in a long time.
In 2 weeks' time, we have the official NFL mock draft coming.
Yeah, 2 weeks from today, we have the official Getting Sports with Drunk NFL mock draft. Next Monday, we will have updates as to another Phillies trip, as the same crew plus J Mart will be going to the Phillies trip. Machcine wasn't invited because it's a secret Phillies trip.
We'll be going in August.
And the Twins area is on the bump again.
Yeah,
it's
fucking
the same
ridiculous,
fucking
by
pitcher.
the way. They skipped Velasquez to start. We would have saw Nola.
But anyway, so we'll be back around 8-ish. I don't know what we have scheduled yet, but it's going to be good. And once we figure it out, it's going to be figured out soon. We're gonna plug it away on social media like crazy. Fucking crazy. We're gonna spam you like jerk meat on fucking Pornhub. If you haven't seen those yet, go to Pornhub. You'll see them.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. But until next week, I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler.
I'm Mach.
Sheen Washable.
Nope.
I'm Milwaukee.
And I'm the Red Baron.
Nyong.